Go figure TV. Revolutionary salute. Revolutionary salute. Like, share, subscribe. Welcome to the House of Revolution. You know I'm your humble host, the Yao Mean of Revolution. Ain't nobody dumb as me. That's quote Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty, Papa Shiesty, and Cousin Shiesty arrested by the feds for kidnapping, beating, and torturing Gucci Mane and forcing their way out the country. Wow. Before we get into that, be sure to wipe your feet. That means hit the like button. You in the House of Revolution. Like, share, subscribe, support the platform, y'all. Revolutionary salute. Soldier, SD, Blackface, Ku Klux Klan members have absolutely blew the bag. Let's get into the content. Salute, y'all.
Closer to home, we are following more breaking news after learning two big-name Memphis rappers have been arrested in connection to a robbery at a Dallas music studio back in January. This comes after rapper Pooh Shiesty's family home in Cordova was searched yesterday morning by the FBI. The DA's office of Northern Texas confirms that both Pooh Shiesty and his father were arrested along with Memphis rapper Big 30. The DA's office tells us that the three, along with 6 others, came to Dallas to kidnap and rob victims who they thought were coming to town to discuss a recording contract with one of the victims. But the DA's office says the meeting took a turn when Shiesty pulled out an AK-style pistol and forced the victim to sign a release from the contract at gunpoint. We do want to let you know our Caitlin Barker will have the latest on the arrest coming up tonight on News Channel 3.
So, Pooh Shiesty, Papa Shiesty, and Cousin Shiesty all participated in a federal kidnapping, robbing, torturing, beat a man. Oh, this is gonna get real bad. I don't believe Pooh Shiesty ready to do no life sentence in the feds. I don't believe Big 30 ready to do no 30 years in the feds. I heard his daddy already snitched. They finna drop their paperwork. So I don't believe Papa Shiesty ready to do life in the feds. So this is going to get real.
Folks, we've got some absolutely insane news. They're saying that Pooh Shiesty has been arrested and that, in fact, it is true. This rumor that had been going around that a lot of people had said was a lie, it turns out it is true. Allegedly, Pooh Shiesty did rob Gucci Mane, him and a whole bunch of other gangsters from Memphis, held Gucci Mane at gunpoint. They made him allegedly sign over his recording contracts so that Pooh Shiesty could leave Gucci Mane's label. There was rumors that he was going to sign with Yo Gotti, and it is an absolute nightmare, folks. So this was going around 3 whole months ago. This rumor has been on the streets for quite some time. Word on the streets is Yo Gotti took Pooh Shiesty from Gucci Mane, and word in the streets is Pooh Shiesty robbed Gucci for his wedding ring and his watch and made him sign out of his deal. Y'all heard it first. A lot of people said it's cap. Look at this. 3 months ago, Abraham Lincoln cap. For real, no way that happened. It's almost rage bait. Sounds like some shit you typed in ChatGPT. Dude's out here writing fan fiction. You got that false stuff from Hernandez Govan. Y'all owe Hernandez Govan an apology because he was spitting facts. He'd been right about a lot of shit. Shout out to my guy Hernandez Govan, man. People saying, yeah, facts, cap. You stole that from Facebook. It's not true. It's not true. Ain't no way. Well, turns out Hernandez Govan and everybody else that was talking about this was dead right. All right? Dead right. So it's now come out. There's been a full press conference by the Department of Justice. It's hitting TMZ. Pooh Shiesty was arrested for allegedly kidnapping Gucci Mane.
Rabel, I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. Thank you for coming. This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and
Gucci,
robbed
man.
the other victims of Rolex watches.
So whenever they say force the victim to release him out the contract, they're talking about Gucci Mane.
Jewelry, cash.
So they held Gucci Mane at gunpoint. They're saying Pooh Shiesty himself, the most shiesty man, and probably the dumbest rapper out here right now. And I'm gonna explain to you why this guy's a fucking idiot, okay? And I'm not gonna hold back. They really robbed Gucci Mane at gunpoint. They stole his chains. They stole his watch. They made him sign him out of the contract. They brought a whole bunch of hitters from Memphis to do this. Absolute buffoonery. Now, I spoke to you guys previously. Let me just say something before I get deeper into this, okay? Because there's something very, very important I've got to get off my chest, okay? Look, I know what's going on. The numbers are down. For me, for the rappers, no one's charting. This drill music thing is dying. I'm going to keep it very real for you, all right? I've not spoken this candidly about this topic. The drill scene is dying. I might do a video about it, but the drill scene, in my opinion, died, and it started to die. It got terminal when Lil Durk got arrested. Because when Lil Durk got arrested for murder for hire, all that talking about, go, green light, go, catch them on the news, see your sonny screaming, no, that was cool until you threw away your opportunity, until you were one of the biggest rappers in the game to ever do it. And now we realizing, oh, all that slide for Von, you actually slid for Von, you're dumb. You threw away your whole life. You're dumb. People don't look up to these drill rappers like they used to. They think they're dumb. They think they're stupid. They think that what they're doing is nonsense and they're throwing away their opportunities. So when that happened with Durk, in my opinion, that's when the drill music and the gangster rap really started to decline. It's been on a massive decline for close to a year now. Pooh Shiesty when Pooh Shiesty got released from jail, he was bringing the real stuff back. F.E.D.S was the highest charting single for any rapper, let alone a drill rapper, for a minute. Look at this. This is Pooh Shiesty's F.D.S, first day out, all right? This was his moment where he was coming back to take over the rap game. He was the biggest and only remaining gangster. This song peaked at number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100. Weren't no other gangsters, gun-toting rappers on the Billboard 100 at this time. I spoke about it in previous videos. You can go look it up. But at this point in time, Pooh Shiesty was the only person flying the flag for the gangster rappers. He was the great hope. He was the final hope in history since Lil Durk got locked up, since basically Lil Durk showed the world that being a murdering rapper that raps about your crimes doesn't really get you nowhere. Oh, this is lame. You got to pay to even see this. But look, we can see that it was 12 on the charts, okay? We can see that it went number 12. Can I even get an archived version of that? F.D.S, Pooh Shiesty was meant to come back. So this is why this guy is a moron, all right? This guy is an absolute dummy because he had every opportunity and he got greedy. He wanted to get himself out of his contract at gunpoint. He was having so much motion. He's thinking, oh, I need to get myself out of this predicament. Now he's fucked. Now he's fucked. Now he's not going to be able to release music. He's going to be facing serious charges, going to be back in jail. It's not cool anymore. And he just put another nail in the coffin of drill music where everyone was saying, oh, this gangster rap, this killing, sliding for Von and killing people and rapping about it, and then you lose your entire life. It's not cool anymore. It was cool when Von was killing 7 people. It seemed like there were no consequences to any actions. But Pooh Shiesty just fucked the game up. And he actually just ruined hip-hop. He was the last little hope of this gangster rap shit, and he just ruined it, okay? But anyway, there's some more details about the criminal complaint that have come out, okay? And basically, it's not looking good, not just for Pooh Shiesty, but also Big 30. And this breaks my heart because I've just been getting into Big 30 heavily, all right? That song that he's got with Yo Gotti, I got into that song because Hernandez Govan played it, talking about, Pooh, apparently Yo Gotti got shot up by Young Dolph before Young Dolph got killed. Big Gotti, what do you think they call me king for? Hard, right? And Big 30 killed that song. Ran out of Waukee in the city, now I'm trishing. Hard. So sad. I'm more sad that Big 30's got caught up in this than Pooh Shiesty, to be honest with you, because I'm feeling Big 30's catalog right now. But anyway, this basically breaks everything down, okay? There's a serious indictment. It's not looking good, all right? And you can see all the shit that I've been looking at, okay? Yeah, we're trying to get new watches, new Pokemon cards this year. Shout out to the ads one time. Anyway, it says rapper Gucci Mane, whose real name is Radrick Delantic Davis, was allegedly robbed and kidnapped by rappers Pooh Shiesty and Big 30 in Dallas. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, the DOJ said Thursday that 9 people, including the aforementioned rappers, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims in a music studio in Dallas. 8 of the 9 suspects were arrested on Wednesday, according to the DOJ, in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. So they're getting them from a whole bunch of places. So they got Pooh Shiesty, they got Pooh Shiesty's dad, and they got Big 30, and a whole bunch of other people were involved. They all went from Memphis down there to Dallas to raise hell. Absolute nonsense. Okay. So the DOJ said in a complaint, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a meeting. Pooh Shiesty arranged the meeting. So he arranged a meeting with Gucci Mane to discuss the recording contract. And then he pulled out an AK-47 and allegedly basically said, yeah, you better sign me away. And I'm going to go sign with Yo Gotti. So when the 3 members in the music studio, you already heard this, he and 8 of his co-conspirators did an armed takeover. And I don't think it's going to be in here, but I believe one of Gucci Mane's security was actually the police. And people are going to call Gucci Mane a snitch. I don't think Gucci Mane's a snitch, but what's going to end up happening in this situation, unfortunately, is we are going to see people call Gucci Mane a snitch, but in reality, he was rolling with apparently real, genuine armed security, police, ex-police, former, current, off-duty police, whatever you want to call it, all right? He's a multi-millionaire. He needs protection. There's nothing wrong with having armed security that are connected to law enforcement. So there ain't no way, ain't no street code, oh, Gucci Mane's a street dude, so he's just going to roll over and take this. Bro, you out here robbing and choking people unconscious that are like actually got connections to law enforcement. You're a fucking idiot. Says the remaining co-conspirators pulled out guns, robbed the other victims of all their stuff, high-value items, Rolexes, jewelry, cash. One of the victims was choked during the robbery to the point of near unconsciousness. Okay, these are apparent injuries sustained by one of the victims. And yeah, just I ain't even going to say it, but you see what's going on. You see the person that got injured here. Fed's taking that seriously. That's just how the system works, man. So apparently Big 30 is the one who barricaded the door to prevent the victims from escaping. So you got false imprisonment in there. Good shout. And we saw the FBI actually executing a search warrant at Pooh Shiesty's Memphis home recently. And it is just looking really bad. So look, I'm going to take a little closer look at some of that paperwork in a minute. But before we do that, I just want to remind you guys that this was the news footage of when they were actually searching Pooh Shiesty's home, and a few days ago, or a day or so ago, this was going around and people were wondering what was going to happen, saying they're looking for that crate of grenades.
Peter is following now. We're learning more about an FBI search party at a home associated with Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty.
Now take a look. This was the scene earlier this morning outside of a Cordova home belonging to Lontrell D. Williams, otherwise known as Pooh Shiesty's birth name. Now, the house deed didn't specify whether the homeowner is Pooh Shiesty or his father, Lontrell Williams Sr. But the FBI confirms they were at that home to execute a court-ordered search and arrest warrant. Our Drita Patterson has been at the scene of that search all morning long. Drita, what have you learned?
We've learned quite a bit. It just so happens this is a community where a family I'm very close to live. So they were able to sort of walk us through what happened. They are telling us it was well before, several hours before sunup when they first heard a boom. It was then followed by shouting of from the agents who were saying that they were certainly executing a search warrant. I can tell you, after that boom, there was a back door that was breached. Folks, as mentioned, the home just behind me, according to property records, is listed to Lontrell Williams. Neighbors are telling us this is Williams Sr., the father, of course, of Lontrell Williams Jr., who is better known as Pooh Shiesty. Folks, let's go ahead and show you some of that video for not already. This is how it looked earlier this morning as those federal agents were focused on several cars inside the garage. That, of course, is the extent from our vantage point that we were able to see. This home located along Beaver Valley Lane, just off of South Forest Hill, Irene, here in Cordova. This is a community sort of tucked away. Neighbors described this area as being peaceful. That is until this morning. Take a listen to what a neighbor had to tell us.
Find your perfect tax expert, whatever your tax situation might be.
They were here, before sunup. Yeah. No lights, no sirens, no nothing. Loud explosions, that's what woke me up. They had loudspeakers on saying, we have a warrant for your arrest, come out with your hands up and all this.
Of course, we have reached out to try to get a copy of that search warrant in order to find out exactly who police, or I should say federal agents, were after. Once we get that information, we'll certainly pass it along on air and online. It is worth mentioning there was a vehicle that pulled into the driveway while those agents were here. A young woman got out. Neighbors told me that that woman actually lives here. We tried speaking with that woman, but she did not, of course, want to speak with us. We're still working to gather more information. Of course, we'll pass it along as it becomes available. Reporting for your news leader in Cordova, Drita Patterson, WREG, News Channel 3.
Man, that shit crazy, okay? That shit crazy. So there's also some paperwork now that's going on related to this, and this doesn't give you the full the full complaint. This is actually a motion just to unseal the complaint, but we've got all of the defendants' names there. And it basically says on March the 30th, so a few days ago, that's when the criminal complaint was actually filed under sealed that actually charged all of these defendants. And it will basically break down the specific charges: kidnapping, conspiracy to commit kidnapping. And it basically says the grounds for sealing no longer exist. 8 of the 9 defendants are now in custody. 1 is currently in the Northern District of Texas. 1's in Tennessee. They're basically trying to get the last person, and they're basically on the run, and they're trying to duck these charges, essentially. It says continued sealing of the complaint serves no benefit to the public, and basically this is just like a little bit of backstory, but we're not going to hear the full breakdown. What's going to happen is I believe this motion to unseal the complaint will probably be granted. We'll likely then get a full breakdown of the actual complaint and the exact allegations, the details, the evidence. It's going to be looking pretty bad. But this complex article actually does give a little bit more backstory about some of the victims and exactly what went down. It's got a little bit more information than some of the previous articles that I've covered. So it basically says that in the criminal complaint, which Complex have apparently obtained, so maybe that's been unsealed at least privately, and some people have got their hands on it. It basically says it doesn't name Gucci Mane Radrick Davis specifically, but one of the victims is identified throughout as RD, so that is Radrick Davis. And they also mentioned Shiesty's previous signing with the 1017 label. So this breaks down the entire sequence of events that we'll be seeing in that unsealed indictment when it actually drops. It says, inside the control room, Lontrell Williams Jr., aka Pooh Shiesty, produced a purported contract termination or release paperwork from a bag and told Radrick Davis to sign. When Radrick Davis declined, Williams Jr. became agitated and the pair started to argue. And then 2 other people who could see inside the recording room initially believed Gucci and Pooh were discussing business, but as someone saw the conversation intensifying, he texted another person who was still in the lobby. The complaint continues as the argument inside the recording room ensued. Williams Jr. instructed fellow suspect Rodney Wright Jr. to get his bag. Wright complied, leaving the recording room before returning with a bag.
With our cutting-edge chart trading feature and 300-plus indicators, you can now trade directly off the chart anytime.
Williams Jr. then pulled out what appeared to be a black AK-style pistol from the bag and pointed it at Gucci, demanding again that Gucci sign the contractual release paperwork. He complied, signing the paperwork for Williams Jr., while Pooh and his dad and Wright stood by Gucci, and he wasn't allowed to leave the recording room while he was being held at gunpoint. Now, here's the funny thing. Signing a contract to release someone from your label under duress, under gunpoint, that ain't going to hold up in courtroom. You still signed to Gucci, buddy. All right? Unlucky Pooh Shiesty. Gucci Mane is going to be lapping up all of the royalties from your career. He's not going to be letting you drop. He's going to be blocking everything. He's going to be blocking your bag. This is the dumbest thing that anyone could have ever possibly done for their career. Gucci Mane has absolutely a chokehold. He's got Pooh Shiesty by the balls. He's not going to let him go. A judge in a courtroom is not going to honor this signing. Absolutely no way. He's got you. Not only has he got you, but he hates you now. You robbed him at gunpoint. You slimed the king slime. This is absolute ridiculousness. Okay. So apparently, according to cell phone records, social media posts, surveillance footage, and more, they'll all be in the complaint. And it is just really not a good look. And Shiesty was on house arrest during the time. He's banned from possessing firearms or partaking in criminal activity. He's fucked. He's not only done all this on probation on house arrest, all right? It's already a bad look. But this is a serious crime. And he's not going to get out of his contract. He is an absolute dummy. So what I want to do is I want to react to the full press conference and just have a little look and break down everything that was said in the full press conference. It's about 10-15 minutes. And then I want to react to some of what people are saying about this situation on Reddit. Should we look at what people are saying on Reddit first? Let's look at what people are saying on Reddit first. Then I'll just look at the full presser and we can break that down. All right. So this is in Memphis 10. This is the drill street sub related to Memphis music and gangster rap. It says Pooh Shiesty and his dad arrested in connection to the federal investigation. We already know the details. People saying free Pooh, not going to lie, he about to get Lil Durk numbers. They saying Lil Durk ain't got no numbers. Lil Durk about to get some numbers. So I'm sorry. I will not be saying free this dumb fuck dog. He got locked up twice when he had a career, and both times he's been on some dumb shit. People saying Gucci ratted. Hernandez Govan ain't been lying about none of this. I don't think Gucci ratted. I think one of his security was genuinely off duty or retired cop, and he probably just called his homies that have something to do with the police to just say, yo, I just got choked half unconscious and robbed at gunpoint. Can we sort this out? So how's Gucci rat? If Pooh's dumbass pulled this stunt in front of a cop. Gucci don't got a rap. Pooh's dumbass told on himself. Says Gucci was with 2 other people. All 3 of them got robbed. And one of them got choked to near unconsciousness. Wouldn't they include that this dude robbed and kidnapped a police officer? It's looking like that narrative is false, but it doesn't mean that Gucci is snitching. Says Gucci still had to identify Pooh as Pops and Big 30, along with telling who, what, where, and robbed him. How if a cop was there? They got probably studio footage, all of that stuff. But people saying Hernandez ain't going to put rat status on a dude if it ain't true. He tapped in. Gucci security was off-duty police. They're saying, what Govan been yelling? He was the first to announce that Shiesty been locked up, and they said it was cap. He said he was the first to say Gucci robbed Shiesty. They swore bro was capping. So, bro, this man did everything on monitor in his name. That man did not care. Absolutely the R word. I don't know why everybody thought he was in a halfway house when the feds raided his own home. Obviously, something going on. People just didn't want to believe it because he was in a halfway house. That's the full story. It is crazy, okay? There's been a whole bunch of posts going around. It's been going viral on a bunch of subreddits. Obviously, Memphis 10, it was going crazy, but it also went viral in Chiracology, the Chirac Chicago gang subreddit. It went more viral here than it went in Memphis, ironically. But basically, people are saying that FN put that Drake in Gucci's face and made him sign off. While 30 fat ass blocked the door. This shit had me rolling. That FN put that Drake to Gucci face and made him sign him off. He gonna be rapping the craziest lyrics. I ain't gonna lie. His FDO2 in like 2052 gonna go hard as fuck. Gonna go so hard. Pop that AK all in Gucci face and made him sign a contract. I told me 30 blocked the door if he'd step out. You know, they don't want that. Oh my God, it's going to be diabolical. Whole time this was real. Can't believe Shiesty pulled this crazy ass shit. I'm confused how bro thought this was going to end either legally or on some street stuff. It was going to go south as a result of robbing Gucci. That contract ain't worth shit if you did it with an AK in your hand. Trying to get out of his deal like Dr. Dre did with Eazy-E. They're saying, didn't this dumb MF Pooh Shiesty just get released from federal prison 6 months ago? They're going to look at him and say they should have cooked him the first time. His judge about to toss him a cool 15 without batting an eye. He could get life for the kidnapping alone, plus 10 for the gun, and a year per bullet. They finna fry his ass. Even his dad. His father is alleged to have helped plan and execute the kidnapping. What fucking plan? This is one of the most dumb, 100% guaranteed to get caught crimes I've ever heard of. Room temperature IQ dumb fucks. They thought Gucci wouldn't talk to the feds, but apparently he is. People saying I doubt he had, but when your security's off-duty police and he was part of getting robbed, I bet he went and told immediately. What a dumbass, just fucking dumb. The dude had one job, drop bangers. He threw it all away just like that. Part of me feels like he's playing the gangster role too hard. Dude, he ain't playing. He really a gangster. He ain't playing. He's really doing that. These dudes have money. Why keep on with the petty street stuff like this? Money and success, still doing dumb stuff in the street. It's so dumb. Could have gone wrong for Pooh, like what happened with Pookie. These rappers must just love going to jail at that point, man.
You're not just moving, you're moving in the right direction.
How am I going to play soccer in Connecticut?
It's crazy. All right. So look, let's look at the press conference. Let's look at the press conference. They're saying first day back, FDB on the way.
Some niggas ain't
snake. Pooh tried to warn us, man.
See, Pooh should have stayed out the game. See, that's why I want to be right. That's what you have to do to these people. And that's why I'm telling you, finesse 2 times is fake. If he was a real stepper, he would have been pulling guns on Jay Prince Jr. and making him come off that contract, but he doing the right thing and trying to get a lawyer. Pooh Shiesty is actually a gangster. He's a dumb, stupid bastard, but he is absolutely a gangster who threw his life away over trying to live up to that shit.
Front of a cop. If Gucci is still who he was, then Pooh just signed a death wish. Gucci would be a fool to retaliate with all this attention. Saying Gucci told, might be gone for another 10, might be longer. He's cooked. He's absolutely cooked. I know Seti Nash somewhere cheesing his ass off right now. Like, I told y'all, this was the dumbest shit ever, though. I hope it was worth it. Bro, he is absolutely cooked. All right, let's look at the presser. I think we heard the first minute or so of this.
I'm Ryan Rabel. I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. Thank you for coming. 3 music industry professionals travel. Once these 3 men, the remaining defendant Wright, barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping. The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged, for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And as described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims. The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendants' roles in the federal offense. This is as follows: electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas. Rental car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group. Surveillance footage from the offense location, a nearby office supply store, and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed following the offense. Fingerprint evidence as well that was recovered from the crime scene, matching at least two of the defendants. Social media posts by defendants displaying what appears to be stolen property just in the days following the offense. Greyhound bus records confirming the travel of multiple defendants from Dallas to Memphis the day after the offense. In this case, came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence as alleged in the charging document. This case should serve as a warning to others who believe that using violence and intimidation tactics to rob others in our community is a viable way to conduct business. I'm here to say that it is not, and that if you choose to do this, we will, together with our law enforcement partners here and the other ones in the Northern District of Texas, will bring you swiftly to justice. I want to thank the FBI Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, the FBI's Memphis Resident Agency and Nashville Field Office, the Memphis Safe Task Force, the Dallas Police Department, the United States Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, Michael Dunovit, and AUSA Greg Wagner, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Texas, my dear friend and colleague Jake Combs, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Tennessee, including my colleague Braden Busek, for their outstanding contributions in this multi-jurisdictional investigation and prosecution. I'd also like to highlight the extraordinary work. None of this happens without the extraordinary work of our AUSAs in this office, and I'm here to say we have the best AUSAs in the entire country. That includes AUSAs Robert Withers, Claire Demers, and my violent crime chief, Jeremy Fugate. This case really underscores the importance of standing up for crime victims, no matter who they are or where they come from. And the incredible collaborative investigative partnerships.
All right, so elsewhere in the press conference, we're going to skip ahead some of the more boring stuff, but basically they talk a little bit about the victims. They're not trying to mention Gucci Mane, but I mean, we know what's going on.
Who these victims are and a specific location of this studio that you were talking about?
I'll answer the last part first. Yes, it'll be in the complaint, and we're happy to get you a copy of that. It's now unsealed. It was off Dallas Parkway in Dallas, Texas, a music studio. That's what's identified in the complaint. As far as victims go, we won't get into at this time who the victims are or not.
Chase with the Dallas Morning News. Can you describe the injuries suffered by the three victims?
So one of the victims, and this is actually in the complaint, and we'll get you a copy as well. There's a photograph of the injury. It looks like there's some abrasions on the neck and arm.
You were still seeking one suspect.
One of the individuals that's been charged has not had his initial appearance yet, but agents are actively working to locate and bring him to court.
And I wanted to touch on that actually. Eric Bush on KRLD. Since there's one person you're still trying to get to come in, I guess upon request, its initial appearance, you said that you're trying to work out. Because you're going public with this, are you afraid at all that that's going to hinder eventually getting an individual in?
Agents are working to find him. The complaint has already been unsealed, and a number of these defendants have had their public hearing already, their initial appearance, and so it's already out there that this individual has been charged, and so that information is in the public record. But
okay, people, I've actually got a bombshell. I've just been sent, as I'm recording this video, the full-blown thing. So we've got the full thing here, all right? And this is going to break down all the details. I'm very stoked that somebody managed to get their hands on this. Shout out to my guys, shout out to my team, shout out to my guy, Ruffle, man, getting me this. So anyway, it says on January the 10th, 2026, approximately 5:50 p.m., victims who will be referred to throughout this affidavit by their initials or collectively as the victims, RD, Radrick Davis, Gucci Mane, MM, and BP were kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint at a music studio located at Dallas Parkway, Dallas, Texas. Okay, it says at 1 p.m., the victims flew to Dallas alongside RD's head of security. That's very interesting. And another security officer for a scheduled business meeting between Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty's been signed to 1017 since approximately 2021. Gucci and Shiesty were scheduled to meet because Shiesty was upset with the terms of his contract and wished to be released to them. Williams Jr. So Shiesty had asked Gucci to come to Dallas on this date so they could meet about business. All right. So at 1:45 p.m., the victims arrived at the meeting location at a recording studio within a larger office building. The victims entered the building and realized the recording studio was closed. They were waiting for the studio to open. Some people went to a liquor store and got liquor and red plastic cups. Shiesty's father would call another person multiple times on the day of the meeting. JN answers the phone and learns that Williams Sr. was attempting to book the recording studio that afternoon for Williams Jr. and Gucci to record music. They got surveillance footage. Oh, dear. Okay, they got surveillance footage. People talk about, oh, snitching. Bro, they got surveillance footage of you guys there. Got you. Williams Sr. talking on his cell phone before entering the building. At 3:39 p.m., an employee of the studio arrived to assist with production. And when the employee arrived, Williams Jr. and Sr., so Pooh and his dad, were standing at the back of the office building, engaged in what appeared to be an argument over the phone. 3:43, Pooh Shiesty, his dad, and others, they entered the east side of the office. The target suspects walked through the lobby area of the building before going into the studio. One individual with dreads, later identified as Gibson, was seen exiting the office building. Shortly thereafter, returned with a bag slung over his shoulder. I wonder what was in the bag. Big, heavy bag. So the 9 individuals entered the studio's control room, where inside the victims were watching a football game. CW was positioned in the studio lobby, while TD remained in the vehicle they arrived in. Depicted below are photos of the studio, crime scene photos of the studio. Okay, the victims overheard Pooh Shiesty talking on his cell phone with a probation officer. You really did this just after you'd spoken to your probation officer. The caseworker had given him permission to be out for rec time. Apparently, Shiesty was informed this was not the case and he needed to return immediately. So you're on house arrest, you're talking to your PO, you're not even supposed to go there. They've told you you've got to get home, you wear an ankle monitor. And you said, you know what, let me pull an AK and rob this fool. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Gucci told Pooh they could reschedule the session, but Pooh said he wanted to speak to Gucci privately in the recording room. He agreed. They entered the recording room, Pooh and his dad and another man. Meanwhile, other people remained in the control room with 6 other individuals watching the football game. They offered to share liquor that they purchased with target suspects, and at least 2 accepted. So they were all drinking out the red cups. Then Pooh Shiesty pulled out his contract termination paperwork and told Gucci to sign. Gucci declined. Pooh Shiesty got agitated and they had an argument, and people could see them inside the recording room. They thought they were discussing business, but they saw the conversation was getting more and more intense. After the argument, Pooh Shiesty instructed Wright to get the bag. Wright complied. He left the room, came back with a bag, and he pulled out an AK-style pistol, so like a Draco-type gun. Gucci then signed the paperwork at gunpoint, so that ain't going to hold up in a courtroom. And basically, they all stood by and made sure that Gucci couldn't leave the room while he was held at gunpoint. Wow. Wright then pulled out a cell phone and purported to record Gucci Mane signing the paperwork while being forced to say that he released Pooh Shiesty from the contract. That ain't going to be worth shit. After the release was signed, they took Gucci's wedding ring, his watch, and his earrings and cash. Wow. So the story about Gucci getting his wedding ring stolen is 100% true. After he signed the paperwork released, Pooh Shiesty provided the paperwork to his dad and asked him if the paperwork was good. The dad said it needed to be dated, and they then forced Gucci to add a date next to the signature. They all then left the recording room. The remaining subjects produced handguns and started to demand property from the other people that were there with Gucci. They pushed one of those people onto the couch in the control room. Somebody known to BP as CMO Damn Fool, part of Pooh's crew, later identified as Rogers, ran his pocket, stole his wallet, a chain, a necklace bearing 1017 from his neck. Another suspect he knew as Glizzy 375, later identified as McDaniel. During the robbery, McDaniel repeatedly threatened to shoot BP for moving, but when Pooh instructed McDaniel to not shoot him, BP further identified an individual known as Baby Slime 375, later identified as Johnson, as being involved in the kidnapping and robbery. And during the control room robberies, Johnson possessed a firearm, held BP and others at gunpoint. MM and BP identified an individual they knew as KD, later identified as Walters, also being involved in the kidnapping and robbery, possessing a firearm. So these guys are identifying people. That makes me think that could be the off-duty cops. MM was choked from behind to the point of nearly losing consciousness and resulted in scratches in his neck and wrist. MM was robbed of a Rolex, a Louis bag containing multiple other high-dollar watches, Apple AirPods, his wallet, and he confirmed that the wallet had an Apple AirTag in it. You are the dumbest criminals in existence. So as the altercation inside the control room ensued, Wright walked over to the studio door lobby, closed it, and blocked it with his body, preventing victims from leaving. The victims' security guards watched Wright barricade the door and attempted to force their way into the control room, but were prevented from entering. With handguns drawn, CW and TD managed to partially open the door, but they recognized they were outnumbered by the target suspect.
Taxes, chasing updates, and getting nowhere.
Gucci was pushed onto the couch in the control room, causing the victims to believe they were going to be executed. Pooh Shiesty placed the barrel of the firearm to the back of BP's head and ordered him and Gucci to leave the control room in the studio through the west entrance. Gucci then instructed CW and TD to escort them to their vehicle. As the victims left, MM turned to Pooh Shiesty and asked him if they were really taking his watches. Based on latest surveillance footage, target suspects left the studio and office building through the east entrance at 4:44 p.m. These are absolute fucking morons, and they're all on camera and got your Shiesty on. Doesn't really matter if you got your Shiesty on. Oh, we put the Shiesty on. No one's going to capture me. You guys are fucking dumb. Exterior surveillance footage recovered from neighboring building showed a white Buick Enclave, a black Dodge Charger Hellcat, a black Dodge Ram with a roll bar affixed to the bed of the truck traveling northbound. So we've got all your cars, all your custom vehicles spotted. According to law enforcement databases, Wright's father, also named as Rodney Wright, owns a 2020 Dodge Charger Hellcat bearing Tennessee license plate. And I believe that license plate was red. It says the Charger was captured following close proximity. Dodge Ram bearing an Arkansas license plate, same roll bar. They placed the Charger traveling in close proximity to a Buick Enclave bearing Texas license plates. The Enclave returns with Hertz Rental as its registered owner. So you're doing all that in rentals. Okay. They spoke to Hertz about the information about the car. It had been rented in Pooh Shiesty's father's name. Rented the car in your name. Yeah, genius. Genius. Do all this drilling in the name. The car was rented to William Sr. at the time of the robbery. Location information provided in response to a search warrant detailed the movements of the Buick. They corroborated the LPR scans and confirmed the Enclave was at or near the offense location, you big dummies. Okay. Then they got Pooh Shiesty's electronic location monitoring. Oh dear. You did all that with an ankle monitor on? Yeah. Okay. Good one. Pooh Shiesty's serving 63 months for violating the Firearms Act. He basically is on home confinement. He can't possess any deadly weapons or being in the company of anyone with a deadly weapon. He's required to wear an electronic monitoring device. Investigators received partial records, including location data. They corroborated the movements, including his location near the offense location. You are a moron. On the day of the offense at 1:50 p.m., Pooh Shiesty's dad was seen entering a Staples location. The rented Buick can be seen on surveillance video. He walks in and used the copy printer receipt. Don't tell me you used the rental to go to Staples to print out the contract that you made him sign. Please don't tell me. He did a transaction at the copy printer machines. Okay. Visited the Staples in the car that you rented that was at the location. He went to the Staples for the purpose of printing off the contractual release that was presented to Gucci Mane. Premeditation, you big dummies, all right? Cell phone records for Pooh Shiesty and his dad and other people, telematics. Look, we ain't got to read it all, okay? But they got the cell phone data. The cars and the people were in the area of where Pooh Shiesty was residing, Windrose Tower. Now you're doxed as well. Unlucky. Okay. He resided there before moving into his residence at 12 Cowboys Way in Frisco's, Texas. Whoopsie daisy. They all traveled together to the area of the offense location, arriving at 3 p.m. All the data said you all went there and rented. Bro, you guys are cooked, basically. Look, I don't need to read you all of this, but yeah, you were all tracked exactly where you were supposed to be, where we thought you were. And the Comfort Inn, all right? All staying at the Comfort Inn, okay? Surveillance footage from the Comfort Inn got you all in the same clothing as the robbery suspects. Whoopsie, got you all in the same fits, all on camera with your faces out. Pooh Shiesty should have been wearing Shiesties, didn't he? It wouldn't have even helped. Got all of you on there. Crazy. And then they did prints lifted from the crime scene, ran through AFIS. The same day, a fingerprint expert received hit notifications. Prints on the red Solo Cup identified as Gibson, identifying the target suspects through Instagram. Everybody knew Pooh Shiesty through his legal name and his Instagram handle. Okay. They basically identified him. He was wearing a black Shiesty mask. Now that really kills it, right? You get caught up wearing the Shiesty mask. You popularized the Shiesty mask. You wearing a Shiesty mask to conceal your identity doesn't work when you're the man that invented Shiesties. You fucking dummy. Absolute moron. Absolute moron. You guys are the reason that hip hop and drill music is dead, because you do this dumb stuff. You have the greatest opportunities to make it in music, and you do dumb shit like this, and you throw away great opportunities that other people would kill for. The victims identified William's senior account, so they got his dad's account. CEO Big 30 shots. Brr. All right. So disappointed in Big 30, man. I was loving his music lately. He was identified by Instagram. Okay, a Shiesty is a popular balaclava-style face mask. They ain't even going to mention that Pooh Shiesty literally is the person that actually popularized this. So they got KD. They've identified his Instagram. Whoopsie. Getting that money. BP identified as Downfall375. Whoopsie. Identified you. Yes, I'm a big watch fan, okay? I'm a big watch fan. You know I love my watches. You know I love my kettles, all right? So I can't wait to hear. So they're saying, oh, surveillance footage. He saw him exiting the building with a Louis Vuitton bag. He posted a video showing himself wearing a Rolex GMT Master 2, the Batman. They stole a Batman with an oyster steel band, very similar to the watch stolen from MM. He provided the serial number. He was also wearing shoes that were similar to those he worn during the offense. The Batman. I fucks with the Batman. The Batman's hard. All right. And he's actually using his GMT function. He's twisted the bezel so he can track a second time zone. He's actually, this is the first person I've ever seen. For all of the drillings that you guys do, at least you're using the functionality of the GMT Batman. Okay. I'm a big watch guy. Anyway, they identified everyone else through the Instagram, twin CMO. All right. He was the person who choked and scratched and wanted to shoot MM during the offense. They matched his driver's license photograph with the individual on the account. You're cooked. Oh, no, not showing off another GMT, right? And he's using the GMT function too. You got to track multiple time zones when you're doing these kinds of armed robberies. He posted a large amount of cash and a Rolex similar to one stolen from MM and a location tag of Dallas, Texas. They gave up on the ones that didn't know what's coming. I'll tell you what's coming, prison. I'll tell you what's coming. You gave up on the ones that didn't know what's coming. Prison, that's what's coming. You a dummy. And I'll grab this watch. I'll buy this watch from the evidence locker for the low if you guys want. Just so dumb. It's a nice watch. The solid gold GMT is a super nice watch. And they stole the 1017 chains. Vision. How are you holding people up at gunpoint, telling them to take you off the label, and then you flex in the label chain? He wore the 1017 necklace. You a fucking idiot. BP identified an individual, Baby Slime. He was present during the offense. He posted a story and tagged them. Folks got that shit on. Oh, my God. You guys are so dumb. So online investigative research and Memphis gang investigators confirmed that the individual depicted matches Gibson's recent arrest booking. They identified all of you guys. Summary of suspects' involvement, okay? We basically, look, we've summarized all of this, all right? Everybody is plugged in. They was getting the Greyhound bus. We identified everybody. In conclusion, you're all cooked. This is one of the dumbest things I've seen. I'm so disappointed in Pooh Shiesty and his whole entourage. I feel like you guys are actually really giving the rap game a bad name right now.
Vlad interviewing from prison.
Lil Durk crashed out, threw his life away. Everyone's really disappointed. The Great Hope, the voice, is no longer here with us. Pooh Shiesty, man, you had FDO. You was number 12 on Billboard charts, and you're out here doing this nonsense. That armed contract signing ain't worth the paper it's printed on, right? Ain't worth the Staples paper that you went and in your rental that was registered to your father's name and got the thing printed out on it. Ain't worth shit. Gucci Mane still owns all your rights, and you're fucked. You're an idiot. You're all idiots. This is so embarrassing. Look, let's see what happened. People are going to be talking about, are they innocent? I don't condone this whatsoever. This is nonsense. This is dumb, and somebody else should have had this opportunity because Pooh Shiesty absolutely doesn't deserve it. Didn't deserve the last opportunity that he had when he shot the security guard in the leg and shot the guy in the ass when they were buying some weed, and he doesn't deserve it now, man. FDO. Imagine that being your high point. FDO. That's all you did, and then you fucked off back to prison. Embarrassing. Okay, but anyway, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. I'll keep you guys up to date on this story as it develops. But
we catch the feds lying because they own paperwork just show that they lying and get to the bottom part of this because this is insane. And what's alleged out of here is even crazier. So affidavit in support of application for criminal complaint. Brittany Garcia, the special agent. She says she's a special agent with the FBI and worked with these cats since 2022. So she says, I have used various investigative techniques such as interviewing witnesses, interviewing defendants, conducting surveillance, and executing search, seizure, and arrest warrants in my federal investigations. I am familiar with how criminals use their cell phones, vehicles, and social media accounts to facilitate the commission of these type of offenses. And she says this affidavit is based on my personal knowledge as well as information provided to me by other law enforcement officers and other individuals who have participated in investigations. So it goes on to say, based on the facts set forth below, there's probable cause to believe that on or about January 10, 2026, in the Northern District of Texas and elsewhere, the following individuals violated 18 U.S.C. 1201 A and C by knowingly combining, conspiring, and agreeing with other persons, known and unknown, to commit offenses against the United States, to wit, unlawfully seizing, confining, inveigling, decoying, kidnapping, abducting, or carrying away for ransom or reward any person. Then it goes on to name all of these cats. Probable cause. Overview of the kidnapping. On January 10th, 2026, at approximately 4:50 p.m., victims who will be referred to throughout the affidavit by their initials or collectively as the victims, RD, which is Roderick Davis, that's Gucci Mane, MM, and BP, were kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint at a music studio located on Dallas Parkway in Dallas, Texas. This location is within the Dallas division of the Northern District of Texas. At approximately 1 p.m. on January 10th, 2026, the victims flew into Dallas, Texas, alongside RD's head of security. Pay attention to that. Hereinafter referred to as CW, and other security officer hereinafter referred to as TD, for a scheduled business meeting between RD and suspect Williams Jr. Williams Jr. is a hip-hop artist known as Pooh Shiesty. All right, we go down and say, Shiesty has been signed to a recording contract for RD's music label, 1017. So once again, y'all know who owns the label. Roderick Davis, 1017, Pooh Shiesty. Since approximately 2021, RD and Williams were scheduled to meet because Williams Jr. was upset with the terms of his contract and wished to be released from his contractual obligations. Williams Jr. had asked RD to come to Dallas on this date so they could meet about business. At approximately 1:45, CW and TD and the victims arrived at the scheduled meeting location, a music recording studio within a larger office building. When CW and TD and the victims entered the office building, they realized the recording studio owned by an individual, hereinafter referred to as JN, was closed. While they waited for the studio to open, the five went to a liquor store and purchased liquor and plastic red Solo cups before returning to the studio. That QR code or that link in the description gonna take you to get $5 real quick just to get paid to play. What though? 3 p.m. JN answered the phone and learned that Williams Sr. was attempting to book a recording studio that afternoon for Williams Jr. and RD to record music at around 3:15 p.m. JN opened the studio for RD, MM, BP, CW, and TD. Investigators later collected and reviewed surveillance video captured at another business located at the same office building on the same floor as the recorder studio, which shows Williams Sr. outside of the office building at approximately 3:27 p.m. on January 10th, 2026. Williams Sr. appears to be speaking with someone on his cell phone before entering the building at or around 3:28 p.m. And you can see the photos right here. We'll enlarge that for you guys so y'all can see right here. That's Pooh Shiesty's dad. So now we go on. It says at approximately 3:39 p.m., an employee of the studio arrived to assist with production. When the employee arrived, Williams Jr. and Williams Sr. were standing at the back door of the office building, engaged in what appeared to be an argument over the phone. At approximately 3:43 p.m., Williams Jr., Williams Sr., Wright, Johnson, Waters, Rogers, Gibson, Glover, and McDaniel entered the east side of the office building. The target suspects walked through the lobby area of the office building before going inside the studio, left. One individual with a dreadlock hairstyle, later identified as Gibson, can be seen on video exiting the office building and shortly thereafter returning with a bag slung over his shoulder on the right. So as you can see right here, this is whoever the hell they're talking about. Then it says the 9 individuals entered the studio's control room where inside the victims were watching a football game. CW was positioned in the studio lobby while TD remained in the vehicle they arrived in. Depicted below are photographs of the studio lobby, left studio control room, right in studio recording room, bottom taken from Dallas Police Department, DPD. body camera, and crime scene photographs captured on the night of the offense. The victims overheard Williams Jr. talking on his cell phone, potentially with a probation or parole officer, stating that his caseworker had given him permission to be out for rec time. From what the victims could hear, Williams Jr. was informed that was not the case and he needed to return immediately. Williams Jr. agreed. Williams Jr. was wearing an ankle monitor, leading the victims to believe that Williams Jr. was on house arrest. RD told Williams Jr. they could reschedule their studio session, but Williams Jr. requested to speak with RD privately in the attached recording room. RD agreed, and they entered the recording room with Williams Jr. Williams Sr. and Wright, meanwhile, MM and BP remained in the control room with 6 other individuals and continued to watch the football game. BP offered to share the liquor they purchased with the target suspects, and at least 2 accepted. I don't know why I'm like kind of giddy to read this. My bad, y'all. Grabbing the red solo cups and making a drink. Inside the control room, Williams Jr. produced purported contract, termination, or release paperwork from a bag and told RD to sign. When RD declined, Williams Jr. became agitated, and the pair started to argue. MM and BP could see inside the recording room and initially believed RD and Williams Jr. to be discussing business. But as MM saw the conversation intensifying, he texted CW, who was still in the music studio's lobby. As an argument inside the recording room ensued, Williams Jr. instructed Wright to get his bag. Wright complied. Wright complied, leaving the recording room before returning with the bag. Williams Jr. then pulled what appeared to be a black-style AK pistol from the bag and pointed it at RD, demanding again that RD sign the contractual release paperwork. RD complied, signing the paperwork for Williams Jr., while Williams Sr. and Wright stood by RD. Was not allowed to leave the recording room while he was held at gunpoint by Williams Jr. Wright pulled out a cell phone and purported to record RD signing the paperwork while being forced to say that he released Williams Jr. from their contract. After the release was signed, Williams Jr. took RD's wedding ring, watch, earrings, and cash. After RD signed the contractual release paperwork, Williams Jr. provided the paperwork to Williams Sr. and asked him if the paperwork was good. Williams Sr. advised that the paperwork needed to be dated. So Williams Jr. then forced RD to add a date next to his signature. Subscribe, turn on that bell to stay notified, and share to keep your people aware. There is so much more to go. I know this is a long video, but this the video that y'all know y'all want me to read the damn paperwork on. So let's finish it. Roll it. BP further identified an individual he knew as Baby Slime 375, later identified as Johnson, as being involved in the kidnapping and robbery, and that during the control room's robberies, Johnson possessed a firearm and held BP and others at gunpoint. Both MM and BP identified an individual they knew as KD, later identified as Waters, as also being involved in the kidnapping and robbery, possessing a firearm and holding them at gunpoint. MM was choked from behind to the point of nearly losing consciousness during the kidnapping and robbery, resulting in scratches on his neck and wrists below. MM was robbed of his Rolex watch, a Louis Vuitton bag containing multiple other high-dollar watches, Apple AirPod headphones, and his wallet at gunpoint by Glover. MM confirmed his Louis Vuitton bag, AirPods, and wallet each had an Apple AirTag, a location tracking device attached. Got him. As the altercation inside the control room ensued, Wright walked over to the studio door to the lobby, closed it, and blocked it with his body, preventing the victims from leaving. CW and TD, the victim security guards, watched Wright barricade the door and attempted to force their way into the control room or prevent it from entering. With handguns drawn, CW and TD managed to partially open the door but recognized that they were outnumbered by the armed target suspects. RD was pushed onto the couch into the control room, causing the victims to believe they were going to be executed. Williams Jr. placed the barrel of the firearm to the back of BP's head and ordered him and RD to leave the control room and the studio through the west entrance of the office building. RD then instructed CW and TD to escort them to their vehicle. As the victims left, MM turned to Williams Jr. and asked him if they were really taking his watches. Based on later recovered surveillance footage, the target suspects left the studio and office building through the east entrance at approximately 4:48 p.m. So as y'all can see, this is these cats leaving, all ski masked up and shit. Exterior surveillance videos recovered from a neighborhood building showed a white Buick Enclave a black Dodge Charger Hellcat, and a black Dodge Ram with the distinct roll bar affixed to the bed of the trunk, traveling northbound shortly after the exterior footage. We already got that part done. Sorry, I had to take a call. So y'all can see these are the vehicles leaving. According to law enforcement databases, Wright's father, also named Rodney Wright, owns the 2020 Dodge Charger Hellcat bearing a Tennessee license plate. So that's how they got him for that. They go on to say all of this shit basically, well, we'll just read it. Forget it. License plate readers basically got all of that stuff during a relevant time period, in particular, a 2:18 p.m. scan on January 10th, 2026 captured the Charger following in close proximity to a black Dodge Ram bearing Arkansas license plate. The Dodge Ram appears to have same distinct roll bars as the Dodge Ram captured on surveillance video near the offense location later that afternoon. LPR scans around 5:04 p.m. on January 10th, 2026 placed the Charger traveling in close proximity to a white Buick Enclave bearing Texas license plate. The Enclave returns with Hertz Rental as its registered owner. On or about January 14, investigators subpoenaed the Hertz Corporation. Basically, they got the car and then found out that Williams Sr. was the person who rented it on December 29, 2025, with a return date of January 11, 2026, which is insane. The records further revealed the Enclave was still rented to Williams Sr. at the time of the January 10, 2026 kidnapping and robbery. Location information provided by Hertz in response to a search warrant. We go on to say Williams is currently serving a 63-month sentence. So it goes on basically to talk about how Pooh basically was serving the 63 months for his old crime. And then it says, Staples on the day of the offense at approximately 1:50 p.m., Williams Sr. was seen on video entering Staples. Basically, his rented Buick Enclave can be seen on surveillance video parking near the front. Basically, it's just telling cats that he went and printed the damn contract, right? So then cell phone records, that's going to show everybody that was there. You know what I mean? The records indicate Wright, Johnson, Waters, Rogers, and Gibson traveled together from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas, Texas in the Dodge Charger Hellcat. So they go on to talk about all of this stuff on January 10th and how all of this crap basically went. So then it even talks about Williams being resided prior to, and this is what's so crazy about this shit, bro. And I'm going to break this in a little bit. I'm going to show you all the pictures of it. But Williams Sr., Williams Jr., Wright, Johnson, Waters, all these cats, the Dodge Charger Hellcat and Dodge Ram, are in the area of the Windrose Tower, a location Williams Jr. resided prior to moving into his new residence at 12 Cowboys Way in Frisco, Texas. They all traveled together to the area of offense location, arriving at approximately 3 p.m. The data from Williams Jr. electronic monitoring device and location information for the Buick Enclave aligned with the cell phone records. So they all go on to say that they got there to the area of the offense location, leaving at approximately 4:50 p.m. to the area of the Star in Frisco, Texas, arriving at approximately 5:07 p.m. Williams Jr., Williams Sr., right? All these cats. I'm not going to read all this stuff. Basically, it just goes on to say. So then on January 24, 2026, Flix North America, Inc., which owns Greyhound Bus Lines, responded to a subpoena with records documenting that on January 11, 2026, that these cats got on a Greyhound bus from Dallas to Memphis. You couldn't even get these cats no goddamn flights. It's not that expensive from Dallas to Memphis, but I think they probably was thinking like, bro, we can't put their faces on certain shit just in case. Anyway, cell phone records indicate on January 13th, Wright, Johnson, and Waters traveled together with the Dodge Ram from Dallas to Memphis. And then the Dodge Charger Hellcat was stolen from the Comfort Inn in the early mornings. In the early morning hours, that's some Dallas shit. So Dallas, y'all known for stealing cars too. Basically, bro, they said it was reported stolen by an individual at TA on January 13th, 2026 at approximately 1:04 p.m. shortly after Wright left the Dallas area, Comfort Inn. That goes on to say whatever the hell. And it just goes on to show Big 30 with his people all wearing this shit, checking in to all of this stuff. So they got these cats all on camera. On January 16, 2026, the AFIS quality Latin prints lifted from the crime scene were run through AFIS the same day. You know what I'm saying? DPD forensic fingerprint expert received hit notifications that the latent prints from one red Solo cup were identified as the left ring finger of Gibson. So this happened on January 16, 2026. And then identification of the target suspects. So all this shit was already done. So y'all got to know that whoever told, which is going to be revealed soon, told way before a whole bunch of shit hit the internet. So BP, and RD all personally knew Williams Jr. by both his legal name and the name under which he performs. Pooh Shiesty is a verified Instagram account, and the individual depicted throughout the accounts matches Williams Jr. and RD described. Now check this out. This is snitching. Right here, this ain't no made up paperwork or none of that shit. and RD described Williams Jr. as wearing a black Nike brand Shiesty mask, black hooded shirt, and black pants during what? The offense. An online search of Williams Jr. matched the individual depicted throughout, Pooh Shiesty. The victims identified Williams Sr.'s Instagram account as Mob Ties Global. Then guess what? Photographs on the account refer to Williams Sr. and Williams Jr. as father and son. Right. BP, and RD all identify right a well-known hip-hop artist known as Big 30 as present during the offense. and RD identified his Instagram account as CEO Big 30, which is verified by Instagram. The account contains photographs of Wright with Williams Jr. and Waters, and investigators located a Facebook account associated with Wright depicting him with Williams Jr. and Waters. and BP identified KD as a nickname for Waters, described him as Williams Jr.'s right-hand man. Described Waters' attire during the offense as a black hoodie with white stripes down the sleeves, which matches an individual captured on surveillance video at the offense location. Investigators matched Waters' driver's license photograph to the individual depicted throughout KD375X. So y'all can see all of this shit. But yes, Gucci Mane snitched. He told. Goes on to basically tell more other individuals and all of this stuff and everything. And it goes on to basically, I'll just read this shit, man. On surveillance footage from the offense location, the individual believed to be Rogers can be seen exiting the building carrying what appears to be the Louis Vuitton bag. Reported stolen on January 15, 2026. So he told him on January 15, 2026. Rogers posted a video showing him wearing a Rolex GMT Masters 2 Batman Rolex with an oyster steel brand that appears visually similar to the watch stolen from who provided investigators with photographs of receipt and serial number from the stolen watch. Additional post, Down Full 375 shows Rogers wearing shoes similar to those he wore in that offense. So here he go with all of this shit. You shining. Identified the Instagram user Twin CMO as an individual who choked, scratched, and wanted to shoot him during the offense. Investigators matched Glover's driver's license photograph to the individual depicted on the account, and Wright's criminal history revealed a prior arrest with Glover. So as you can see right here, January 11th, 2026, 9:30 a.m., a story featuring a large amount of cash, a Rolex visually similar to the stolen one from and a location tag of Dallas, Texas. Why is this date important? January 11, 2026. Because right when Gucci Mane got his ass back home, he snitched. He told. Now, I was told, and this is where I got wrong. Hey, bruh, man, the police did all that telling and all that shit. Nah, Gucci, you told too. January 11, 2026, 6:12 p.m., a video showing individuals visually similar to Rogers and Gibson flashing large amounts of money and a watch. And you can see right here. January 17th, 2026. They just not giving it down, bruh. January 19th shows Glover wearing a necklace with a 1017 pendant that appears identical to the one stolen from BP. This is insane. These are the dumbest cats ever. BP identified an individual he knew as Baby Slime 375X as present during the offense, describing him as short, younger black male with a darker skin who wore a Shiesty mask and a beanie and held BP and others at gunpoint. A December 20, 2025 Instagram story posted by Twin CMO tag Baby Slime. Memphis investigators identified Baby Slime as Corday Johnson from previous gang investigations. So yeah, bro, we'll just continue on. These are the same cats, bro. They just going through and they giving y'all the descriptions, basically letting y'all know where they go. And over here telling every goddamn thing. It is what it is. So yeah, eyewitness, basically all this shit, surveillance footage, and all of this shit and everything. Yeah, eyewitness accounts state that that Williams Jr. brought RD into the recording studio and demanded the RD sign the release contract. Eyewitness accounts also placed Williams Jr., all of this shit and everything, but it just goes on to say exactly what the hell actually happened. So based on the facts set forth above, there's probable cause to believe that on January 10, 2026, in the Dallas Division of Northern District of Texas, all these cats conspired to and committed kidnapping in violation of 18 USC 1201 A and C. Now, I'm going to give Gucci Mane this one out. The Fed paperwork can lie, for sure. But the Fed paperwork saying this early that you went through Instagram with them and you did all this shit, I'm curious. Young Thug, what you going to say? What you going to say, little baby? Rollo, what you going to say? What you niggas going to say? I got what y'all going to say. Y'all going to say, wait. So that's what we'll do. We'll wait. If Pooh Shiesty takes the stand, if Pooh Shiesty fight this and they take it to trial and all that shit and everything, hey, we'll see. But as it stands right now, according to the paperwork, Gucci Mane is a snitch. That's telling. That's snitching. That's ratting. It's the same shit that you did with goddamn Jeezy when you did that one video.
So that situation that we were just talking about with the charges and so forth, do you feel like it was a setup because cats came like after you, like they was coming to get you?
Yeah, I think it was a setup.
Do you have any indications on who it might be? Have you heard anything on the streets? Just whatever you feel in your own heart?
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, ain't too many people got the motive to do some shit like that. I just like a detective, learn, look at the motive, who has motive to do it. And this fuck nigga, the only nigga has motive.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Straight up.
So it's real serious then when we talking about like actually trying to like set somebody up to take someone's lives. It's on a whole nother level. It's past just the wax.
It's like I guess it's scared of competition.
Now, Gucci say, I ain't a gangster no more. I'm a civilian. I'm all this and I'm all that. All right, so be it. So be it. If Gucci is running civilian from now on, then, hey, get your money, do what it do, whatever the hell. But, yeah, bruh. So that whole bullshit that you tried to spin and go, oh, yeah, nah. All of this BS, bruh, that's not what it is. I'm not sorry for this, bro. There are parts of the story that I obviously got wrong. Obviously, but it is what it is. For the most part, shit. Gucci Mane, they didn't tell me this part for a reason. Because they ain't know. They thinking the whole time, hey, bruh, this off-duty cop, he the one that snitched on all of us, all of this crap. Bruh, potentially the cameraman told on us. They caught up with the cameraman on the 16th. Gucci told when they landed. It wouldn't even surprise me if I'm wrong on that and Gucci went to the damn police department right after, which I doubt highly. But yeah, Gucci Mane snitched, according to the paperwork. But what do we do? How do we play it? Maybe we go back and we revisit Gucci Mane's whole entire thing. Because this shit is bad. It's horrible. It's horrendous. Or do we say, you know what, Pooh Shiesty, you should have never had to force his hand like that anyways. Gucci did what he had to do because he had an off-duty cop and he didn't have no choice. The off-duty cop is the reason why, whatever the hell. I don't know. But I tell you this shit. Until this is clear, I ain't playing Gucci Mane no more. Just is what it is. Hey, subscribe, turn on the bell, stay notified, share to keep your people.
Welcome to my faithful over at Kick. If you've been rocking before the stream, if you know, you know. Welcome and appreciate you guys. I do appreciate y'all being in here. Lord. A lot to talk about. Today's going to be a long stream. I was actually not prepared to start stream right now, but, you know, they claim I'm the news guy. I'm still the news guy. Don't worry. So we got to get it. It's hot off the press. Information is coming down. We're going to be breaking this down. I am working in the background to get the full indictment. There is an indictment. This is not going to look good. It's not looking good, y'all. This is not looking good. I want to let you know. This is not looking good. But welcome. If you're enjoying lunch, welcome to you. Now, I'm going to be honest. The age of gangsterism is dead. I hope everybody's taking note. And I want to say to the people who, after they've beaten the legal system, whether they've served time or they've been found innocent, I hope this is going to make a precedent and a set a warning that running around playing gangster will only have you doing a lot more fit first day outs if you ever get out. I like Pooh Shiesty. We're going to get into fully that, but I want to make sure we're going to dedicate this stream to Lil Baby and Young Thug. This is their future if they don't cut it out. I'm going to tell you that right now. Lil Baby and Young Thug, they're running around playing gangster. This will be their future. One day, we don't know when, but it will be their future if they don't cut out this gangsterism behavior that they're doing. So I'm going to dedicate the entire stream to them because, you know, oftentimes it's an old Jamaican saying, if you can't hear, you'll feel. And a saying that I've kind of popularized, you know, in life, experiences, it's the only test where it gives you the, well, it's the only thing that gives you the, life gives you the test before it gives you the lesson. So hopefully people could take heed. There's a bunch of parables and sayings that could go on and on. You know, smart man learns from someone else's mistake. A wise man learns from his own. No, fuck, I messed it up. A fool makes the same mistake twice. A smart man learns from his own mistake, and a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Too many times we're kind of here at this precipice where we're doing one of these streams. And I'm not too happy about it. But unfortunately, when you put a mix of drugs, high ego, what seemingly is an unlimited amount of money, fame and superstardom, and you mix it with bad influences, that even though you have came up on the other side, they keep saying, don't tell me you switched up. What? You gonna let niggas hoe you? You
contact Robert's Air for all your heating and cooling needs.
Bring you back in the same place. Pooh Shiesty has been arrested and I'm here and indicted. It's still sealed, so we haven't fully saw it. There was a press conference this morning from the Department of Justice, or a press release that is. The press release kind of gives some details about their investigation, why they did the raid yesterday. The raid was done on actually not Pooh Shiesty's house, but it was done on Pooh Shiesty's father's house. Now, they have the same name, Lontrell Williams. One's a senior, one's a junior. So you might confuse one for the other. Nevertheless, it goes to validate a rumor that's been circulating in these streets. And actually, I might have to go hit up Hernandez Govan. He told me, he said, Ack. He told me, he said, Ack, you got to, give me a second. He's like, you got to tap in with me. I got all the details. Without further ado, we want to just get directly into this case here. The Department of Justice, again, this is another thing about rappers who have been to the system or been through the system, yet they refuse to learn. They come out taught in the system. The idea of fuck the feds, fuck the judge, fuck the prosecutor. It sounds good. Trust me, there's a exhilarating feeling when you're even repeating it, even if you've never been in trouble. However, it looks like they don't forget. This is clearly an attempt probably for a slam dunk for the Department of Justice. They've done a press conference about it. We're about to watch it now. If you guys are just tuning in, rapper Gucci Mane was robbed at gunpoint. And it appears that the Department of Justice has now taken to a press conference. And that's what I'm saying. Once they're doing a press conference, they usually put out press releases to the public. But they're doing press conferences because this is the slam dunk. You get it in their minds. Real quick, everybody get up in here. We are covering this story live. It really just broke. I was kicking it on Kick for a bit, and we realized this came down the pipeline. Okay, let's go.
I'm Ryan Rabel. I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. Thank you for coming. This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, wow.
8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr.
Well, I guess that, I was with Pooh Shiesty on. They should make him the face of the Nike Shiesty. I guess that's how to win, all right?
Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year,
Steven Jackson is saying some real ignorant bullshit about this case to the youngsters online, talking about he don't like snitches and all that. I'm gonna deal with that nigga tomorrow. I'm sick of these motherfuckers. Gucci Mane, all this Gucci snitched, and he a multi-millionaire business executive. This is disgusting for our community, and we're gonna put an end to these niggas telling our people to throw their motherfucking lives away. You see what I'm saying? So we're gonna deal with niggas like Steven Jackson and that foolishness. And niggas talking about Gucci Mane, he snitched. What the fuck are you talking about?
Music industry professionals travel to Dallas.
Now, I hate that I'm pausing it a little bit, but January 10th, again, if we're thinking about the timing of all this, when did first day out drop?
If Gucci would put $1 million on all them niggas' head, niggas would have got wiped out. Then the feds would have came, arrested him, seized his company. Niggas would have been talking about how stupid he is to throw it all down the drain. Damn if
think
you
about
do,
that,
damn if you
because
don't.
we're gonna have to figure out the narrative.
Clowns in our community.
First day out. Oh my god! If that was dropped in December, so what probably happens, chat, is that they haven't been. This happens a lot. This is why Bobby Shmurda had to get off Epic. A rapper gets locked up, the label, it's out of sight, out of mind. They're not gonna still send money to your mama, to your daddy, to everybody who's with you, and if your account in terms of music, if that dries up and they don't have a lot of money there, they're not gonna reinvest into an artist that's incarcerated. So you know what usually happens, chat? That artist feels away. It's like how Blueface said. I know I'm comparing to Blueface, but remember, how Blueface said he can't forgive one of his baby mamas because she wasn't there for him. So Pooh Shiesty probably gets out, goes to the halfway house, and he has some resentment for 1017. They probably weren't there, even though supposedly in his first interview he actually kind of did say. Did he say Gucci was there? But regardless, when he gets out, he drops a hit. He's probably thinking these niggas didn't hold me down when I was locked down. They ain't funding nothing. They're not giving me nothing. Why they gonna eat at the table with me? And they probably approached him to say, yo, you know what? Gotti been doing some stuff for us. We want to leave. There's a beef between Gotti, long-standing beef between Gotti.
Here's Gotti again. Gotti the fucking devil. Here's Gotti again, promising niggas everything so they can crash out, throw their motherfucking life away while he sit back in the clear and laugh.
And Gucci's like, nah. Gucci's like,
he was hoping Pooh Shiesty didn't kill that nigga. Gotti so mad they just robbed him. He like, damn, why you niggas didn't shoot that nigga in there? He don't give a fuck with them niggas who got death penalty. God is so fucking mad they didn't kill Gucci Mane. I'm telling you.
We could probably give you better terms, but we're not letting you out of this contract, right? One of the things about music contracts that's different than most contracts is like, for example, a basketball contract. When you sign for 5 years, if you get locked up for 6 years on your second year in the contract, when you get out of jail, that contract is over. That contract is void. The contract is not, it's based on time, not actually deliverables that are staggered. The thing with music contracts, it's usually staggered based on deliverables in terms of albums. So yeah, you get locked up, essentially the contract gets paused. So you don't come out and be like, nah, man, this contract was supposed to be done in 5 years. I'm free. So that's kind of a running theory I got right now. But just to let you know the dates, December 12th, he drops First Day Out, the music video. And a month later, he meets up with Gucci Mane on January 10th, they said. And that's when the robbery occurs. So his song's already buzzing. Let me go back. I'm trying to not interrupt.
Has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims.
Now, this is going to be a big source of conversation. Gucci Mane is listed as a victim. Now, a lot of times what happened in this rap community, like you hear stuff. Oh, this guy got stripped down after a dice game. This guy got robbed at the dice game. This guy, he up fire on this guy. And yo, he shot at those dudes and nothing much comes out of it. And sometimes, obviously, the first thing is you don't want to cooperate, right? Because being a snitch is almost like a scarlet letter. The second thing is people don't want to wear that victim tag, that victim label. Right? They don't want to. Shit. Remember when I was covering the Big U thing and I said, well, Whack, they say you're like one of the victims. They got an incident where Big U supposedly did something to you and he started barking at me. Guys from the streets, guys are like in music that are portraying this tough image. They don't ever want to be the victim on paper. Okay. So that's a huge deterrent from them ever talking to the cops. Now, did Gucci talk to the cops? That's going to be a big conversation we're going to have. Now, Gucci's from Atlanta. Listen, is he slithering away with the rest of the slimes? My bad. I mean, is he slithering away? We don't know. But he is from Atlanta. So if I had to log in a call sheet and make a prediction, it's Atlanta. We know how we get down in Atlanta. In the A, we know. However, I digress. Let me get back to Mr. Boyd. I think that's his name.
Industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover.
Okay. Now, I know I'm trying not to pause it, but we got to break down all the details.
Texans aren't just who we serve, it's who we are. We have our own pride and our own flavor. Every Texas-sized moment deserves the lowest prices. Specs, with lower prices since 1962. Shout!
We're scouring Pacer. We're going to see when it's released. Should be shortly because they did a press conference. Let me just say this. Chat. This is another thing when you deal with like these gangster rappers. I'm going to be honest with you. I'd be nervous going to any business meeting where 8 people got to be in a room. If you got to do a meeting with 8 individuals in and around the vicinity, you see, my business meetings is, oh, let's go get lunch. Let's get on Zoom. That's the best one. Let's do this over some coffee. Let's do this over some drinks. The moment I see you pull up with the niggas, a pack of niggas, we're not talking business. It's hard to talk business when you got 8 goons around. Also, this is probably going to go into the premeditation realm because to a reasonable mind, you don't go to discuss business with 8 individuals. Now, I do think Pooh Shiesty has some type of response for that. Say, no, we didn't plan to go do some stuff. I roll around with 8 people everywhere. And also, the place we met wasn't like some corporate office. When we go to the studio, we always 8 deep. That might work. That might work. Let's keep it going, chat.
Terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to...
Oh, wow. Now, I know y'all saying just let it play, but I got to point out these things. In my mind, what happened is Pooh Shiesty know he's on papers. He's on house. He's on halfway house type of situation. Halfway house is the last 6 months of your release. You get to kind of like be outside of whatever for like half the day, but you have to come back and sleep at the halfway house. It's like getting you reacclimated to society. The reason this meeting took place in Dallas is because he's in Dallas. Okay. So, essentially, he shows up to this thing. He knows he's in a halfway house. I would think that, in my little small brain, I thought the niggas just start doing shit. And I say you got to have people you control. And he's going along with it because, bro, you're shiesty. You come from the streets. But according to prosecutors, they're saying Pooh Shiesty kicked it off. He upped the Draco. What up? Man, fuck all that talking, man. Sign that shit right now. Fuck all that. We ain't doing no negotiation. Fuck a deal point, nigga. You gonna catch this hollow point. What's up? Sign this shit, nigga. I'm out of here. I'm out of here, nigga. So they're saying that Shiesty kicked it off first. Yo, Shiesty and Dirk, I ain't gonna lie to you. That was probably like, Shiesty, Dirk, and King Von is like, it's like the big 3.
See,
like,
first of all, crash dummies like Pooh Shiesty gotta stop roaching and signing contracts, eating with your fucking eyes. Gucci Man putting $1 million on the table, they sign their life away. That's on them, bro. And none of these niggas ever went to none of these white labels, kidnapped no white fucking dude, and tried to get up out their contract. They blackface Ku Klux Klan activity. I don't feel bad for Pooh Shiesty, no fucking blackface Ku Klux Klan member who you willing to always do it to your own. Quit trying to steal from these record executives, sign them contracts, and then you got a bad contracts. Now you're pissed off. Pooh Shiesty is a crash dummy who done threw his fucking life away because he signed a contract. Ain't nobody told that nigga sign that contract, bro. He was a roach, and he got into some. But anybody said, well, he did what real niggas do. I met a bunch of real niggas in prison, which they have never been so stupid. But niggas out here say that's real.
Like the real niggas in the industry, like whatever they said they did that shit. Yo.
Whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness. Defendant Wright, barricaded.
Another thing I can't stand is little niggas. I think that shit cool out here when you get in jail. You gotta pay niggas to what you got for you because you can't fight. Niggas beating you up. Niggas making you wash clothes. Niggas don't know the horror of being in prison. That nigga gonna be in prison. He already getting pressed by Jesus. And y'all out here telling man, he had to do that to do. Well, he gonna be horrified when he get to federal prison, nigga. And he just a little nigga on the totem pole. Well, y'all niggas don't be knowing what y'all talking about. Niggas getting that prison, nigga, and they become deacons. That nigga in for a world. He gonna become a Muslim soon. Remember I said that, nigga. He will be a Muslim real fucking soon.
The studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping. The ringleader.
Yo, chat, I ain't gonna lie. Yo, if I'm Big 30, I'm so mad. Yo, if y'all gonna tell a story, what's my motto? If we gonna tell it, we gotta tell it all. How you gonna, Big 30's role in the criminal indictment for the robbery and kidnapping of Gucci Man is that this fat nigga is so big they just put him in the doorway as a block. They just put him there just to hold the door. Yo, this nigga is so fat. They didn't say, yo, imagine y'all tooled up. Everybody got y'all guns? Yo, y'all got y'all shiesties? I bet. We about to get this nigga Gucci Man aside. Yo, Big 30's like, yo, what's my role in this shit? Your role? Nigga, just stand in the doorway. That's it. That's your job. Okay? Stand in the doorway. That's your job. That's hilarious.
That's kidnapping.
Cash and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness. Defendant Wright barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping. The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense.
Oh, he's done.
As alleged for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida.
Now, for niggas don't understand what that means, this bitch was on an ankle monitor. You never been on one. I have. Do you know that now you're going to have prosecutors telling the police this is why niggas don't need no ankle monitors. This is why niggas don't need to be let out of halfway houses. This is why you need to keep your ass in there, because they're going to point to this Pooh Shiesty case where a motherfucker who had it all, millionaire, used his ankle monitor in his work release to go out there and commit a motherfucking kidnapping and robbery because he's a real nigga. This going to hurt people who just want a chance to get out and get a job and change their life, who don't want to get out and kidnap people and rob them. This dummy fucking up for real people who just won't come home and try to have a chance again.
Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And as described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims. The charging document outlines some of the evidence.
Yo, niggas could never stop nigging, huh? Soon as they get out of the studio, they went to social media to post the proof that they did do the robbery. Yo, here's the chain I took. Here it is right here. You know, niggas be thinking they're like, you know, they love calling bloggers police, but never acknowledge their role. Yo, a nigga will go online. Hey, you ever see a chick with a tattoo? She wear clothes all around it. She got a tattoo here. She got no clothes that cover this region because she wants you to see it. A nigga who do a robbery or killing, yo, he'll just go live like, yo, I wonder who I'm smoking in this blunt. I heard niggas was down bad today. Man, next time you running from a nigga, don't trip. Like, they'll just basically tell you they did it. Like, niggas gotta confess. They got to. Yo, I wonder who chain this is. Yo, niggas chains on tour. Like, come on, bro.
In hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims. The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendant's roles in the federal offense. This is as follows. Electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location.
Oh, my God. They basically said a nigga had the ankle monitor on at the robbery. Yo, you might as well just FaceTime the feds, bro. Yo, hey, I'm robbing this bank right now. Not right now, I'm about to rob right now. What you mean? What you mean I won't do it? Nigga, I got my pole on. What you mean I won't? Yo, you FBI. Yo, this is crazy. Wearing the ankle monitor to the crime is wild. Like, you know what I mean? This is lit. Yo, I wonder which genius thought of this plan. Yo, you got a GPS, like, oh, you got your ankle monitor on? You don't think they're tracking you right now, right? All right, come on, let's go do this hit. Nah, this is some grade A niggatry. I love this shit.
The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendant's roles in the federal offense. This is as follows. Electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel.
You're not just moving, you're moving in the right direction.
How am I going to play soccer in Connecticut?
When life changes lead to tax.
Confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group, surveillance footage, from the offense location, a nearby office supply store, and a hotel where several of the defendants.
This is interesting. Now, chat, I'm gonna tell you why I'm pausing. I'm gonna tell you it's interesting. It looked like the feds was up on this immediately. What does that tell me? It tells me that one of the victims, I think they're claiming it's 3 victims, so it was Gucci and 2 other people. Somebody cooperated quick. Somebody cooperated quick, or Pooh Shiesty was rolling around with the nigga that's working, meaning that guy is, he working with the feds and he's gonna be flipping, and he's telling me, yo, them niggas just did a robbery today. Because this is a little bit odd. They're up on this shit mad quick. Usually they got to go back and post, and by the time they get back, most security cameras rewrite itself after like 30 days. Like, they don't have enough space to store stuff in perpetuity. So they got the surveillance. Wow, they got everything. Jesus Christ.
A vehicle that was used by the group, surveillance footage from the offense location, a nearby office supply store, and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed.
Myron, what up?
Yo, what up, bro? I see you on stream, man. This guy, Pooh Shiesty, hasn't learned his fucking lesson, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The feds was up on this one. I ain't gonna lie. I think as soon as the feds heard the first 2 lines, fuck the feds, I think they said, all right, let's build another case. They did this pretty quick. They got surveillance footage. They got it down to a T.
Bro, dude, this is so fucking bad because he just got out of jail for like a similar crime. Dude, if he gets convicted this time, he's cooked.
Yeah, but here's what I'm saying. And I don't know if are you home or are you at your spot?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I just, you want to jump on a mic or something like that? Or
Yeah, no. So I'm gonna watch this, but later on, because I do have some questions for you. Usually, like say things like this, I'm surprised they didn't sit on it. Like this happened 2 months ago, right? They're kind of hitting this really quickly. They could have probably said, all right, this guy's back to doing crime. Let's sit on it, right? Also, I think the element that the hip hop is going to be concerned about is Gucci. Like they're wondering, for you to be a victim, are you cooperating, or could they, without your consent, just name you as a victim? And could they even pursue charges if none of the victims, supposedly it's 3, if none of the victims actually even,
Okay, so that's actually an excellent question. So if Gucci decides not to cooperate with the government,
hold on, wait. I don't want to hold people in suspense, but I got to. Hop on all your equipment and everything. We'll kind of do it like how we do our shit. And we could do a proper breakdown. It'll probably take a couple minutes. I'll just keep listening to this. I think the Attorney General.
Are you gonna be on late tonight too or not?
Yeah, well, I'm streaming pretty much throughout the whole time. But if you got a quick answer now, just tell me now.
Yeah. So to answer your question, bro, the less cooperative victims are, the harder they're gonna have to rely on physical evidence. So from what I've seen, it looks like they got CCTV footage and all this other stuff where if you have a lot of concrete evidence like that, witness testimony isn't really that important. So they could just cook them off of that, bro, to be honest.
Yeah, they have a full, I don't know if there's surveillance footage in the studio, but they have a lot of they know sequentially what happened. Yo, he was signing this paper while this guy pulled out his pistol, one guy blocking the door. It either has to be some surveillance or one of the victims has now talked. But let me throw this other thing in there. Do you think that maybe there's somebody with Pooh that probably, maybe he has some other shit going on? He's kind of just flipped and kind of giving the whole thing up.
That could be it. Like he got busted on something else. Because here's the thing. I'm looking for the criminal complaint right now, and I can't find it anywhere, bro.
Yeah, it's not unsealed yet.
Well, okay. So, yeah, because they just arrested him, right? So they have probably, you know why? He hasn't been brought in front of a judge yet.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
So they're gonna unseal it when he does his initial appearance, which is already like 2 p.m. They might not bring him in today. Every courthouse is different with their initial appearance, but by tomorrow at the latest, we're gonna have that criminal complaint more than likely, or they might have indicted him. But was listening to AUSA. He said the complaint, if I'm not mistaken. So that means some agent probably drafted it up, gave it to the judge versus doing a formal indictment.
Yeah, interesting. Also, here's the thing too, and I'm not too sure how much you know about, at least within once you get to the Bureau of Prisons, at least for the federal government. Like, how do they deal with these things? If you're on what they call halfway house, which is kind of like, it's pretty much like it's a version of home confinement where you're reporting to a building, but you're allowed to go free to do work. And I'm pretty sure the work was, I have to go do I got to go do music, right? So he goes to the studio, which is one of the allowed places. If you then do a crime, then is there any revocation that they have to just say, oh, you're back in federal prison rather than halfway house?
Oh, yeah, bro. Like, if you're on probation or parole, or like any of that, and you violate, like, you're cooked. Like, it could be as simple as they catch you with weed, dude. Like you're going right back to jail. They don't play around with that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if it's like premeditation, but like this seems so stupid. Nobody could sat down and thought about this for 10 minutes.
Well, let me give you a little bit of insight, bro.
Dude, that is ankle monitor on.
Yo, these probation officers, bro. A lot of people don't know this. I'm gonna give your audience a little bit of game here. These probation officers damn near have more power than federal agents sometimes, and I'll explain why. If one of the people are on probation or getting one of these benefits where they're able to get out early, whatever, and they violate, not only can that probation officer go arrest them, he can search his house. He doesn't really need probable cause. Basically, you become the government's bitch, right? So what I used to do when I was an agent is if I was looking at a target and he was on probation, I'd go with the probation officer, pretend to be a probation officer, and then I'm able to pick up a bunch of intel from being in there because I'm there with that officer and he doesn't know what I do. So that's the power, just to kind of explain to you like how powerful these guys are when you violate. They become like damn near God mode, bro. They don't need anything to come pick you up.
Yeah, no, this was incredibly. I was thinking that maybe the guys around him like kicked off something and he just went along. The U.S. attorney say no, he initiated this thing, and it's pretty bad. Jesus Christ, the across state lines thing. I'm wondering if they really probably had like an axe to grind against him. It seems like they do, because the only thing they're mentioning about interstate is that hey, they travel from Memphis. That seems to be the thing. Yo, they travel from Memphis.
To be honest with you, bro, establishing interstate nexus is very easy. Like, let's say they used a gun in a commission of a crime. Boom, it's done. Because what the government's going to articulate is he used a weapon that had different parts manufactured in different parts of the country, which affects interstate commerce, and that's how they get venue. That's how they do it. Yeah. Because I used to do one of the things I used to specialize in when I was on the border was gun cases.
Yeah.
So that's why one of my good friends, the ATF agent. So I used to work with him hand in hand. So I know exactly how the ATF deals with all these, gun charges. But to get interstate nexus, bro, it's real simple. Let's say you're a felon, right? And you get pulled over and you get arrested. And the state says, you know what? We don't want to take this. They call ATF. ATF comes and gets you, right? Now they write a criminal complaint. They indict you, whatever. They bring you into custody. One of the things that the ATF has to do to formalize before an indictment is they have to establish what's called an interstate nexus. And all that is a specially trained ATF agent, every field office has one, who is like the interstate nexus guy. He breaks apart the gun. He goes through all the different parts of the gun. And then he's able to conclusively say, hey, I examined this firearm. This firearm has springs from Massachusetts, but a trigger guard from California. And that's kind of their interstate nexus report. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I knew there was something up with this because Gucci was noticeably quiet. And unfortunately, hip hop is so ignorant that Gucci, who has survived the case where he was charged after a self-defense shooting, he's been to jail numerous amount of times. He came out this last time where he seemingly changed his life. He's been living and kind of moving on a straight path. They're going to put him in the same, he kind of falls into this, is this Atlanta being Atlanta thing again, because this idea of ratting. I think people are going to assume he cooperated. And unfortunately, I think for the culture and fans, let's say this happened, they're expecting Gucci to just keep it straight.
Yeah, which he actually can do, bro. Because like he can if he doesn't testify, and he's like, look, I'm not gonna talk on that, like whatever. He could probably still salvage like his image, because I've done this before. Like when I did gang cases, one of the things that would almost always happen is like people would just not cooperate, right? But we had so much physical evidence that we didn't really need that person's testimony, if that makes sense. So as long as you got good physical evidence, you got it. It's good. The witness is just like kind of the cherry on top when you don't have strong evidence, physical evidence.
Hey, and by the way, chat, I'm looking up here on the Bureau of Prison website for the government. It looks like
Yo, your chat is retarded, bro. Do these guys know what I used to do for a living?
yeah, some of them might not know. So it looks like they're saying, so before Pooh Shiesty's location in the Federal Bureau of Prisons would say that's halfway house in Dallas. It says he's no longer there, which means I could imagine he's just transferred to another. They probably just came to pick him up.
At the halfway house.
Yeah. So he was there until yesterday, and it says he's not in. I think that's a they denominate not in custody, but he is in custody, just not at a facility. That's like known at this point. So it might be like going to the MDC or whatever it is.
Yeah, and remember, like I said before, if like you're out on probation or some shit like that, you basically have like no rights. Like you gotta ask for permission ahead of time. Your life is super restricted. You can't hang out with gangbangers, and if you do anything like that, you could get caught with a fucking roach, dude, and you'll go to jail, right back to federal prison.
Yeah, I would love to see how this comes down. They keep saying conspiracy. So, they're going with, it's a conspiracy to do this, but it might just be conspiracy to commit robbery, right?
That's probably what happened.
But I would love to see if they have a bigger case here, but it seems like it might just be this. Regardless, I wonder what the statutes of what this carries.
Weapons offenses like that?
Well, robbing somebody at gunpoint. I mean, I would imagine
yeah. No, that someone was saying I think 5 to 15 years for statute of limitations if memory serves correct.
No, not statute of limitations, like sentencing actually.
Sentencing.
Yeah.
So with the sentencing, that's going to be a little bit more tricky because when a judge sentences you, he takes into account your criminal history and other stuff. And like for Pooh Shiesty, him getting arrested while on probation and just getting out of jail. And keep in mind, when he got arrested the first time, he got arrested for the same dumb shit, robbing dudes at gunpoint. So if he gets convicted, bro, the judge's probably going to throw the hammer at him.
Yo, it kind of makes me think, Pooh Shiesty was really living his raps. Imagine the amount of people he robbed that he didn't get caught for.
He really was, bro. It's actually fucking nuts, man. Like, and I've always said, like, if King Von was alive today, they would have picked him up on a RICO a long ass time ago.
Yeah, crazy. All right, let me watch this thing real quick, and then I'm gonna tap back in with you in a second. I'm pretty much gonna be on all day, so by the time you get on, we could do our thing.
Perfect. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go on at like 10, but I want to give you guys a little bit of sauce and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll definitely cook tonight if you want.
No, of course.
All right, bro. I'll talk to you. Peace.
All right. Chat, do y'all not know Myron is he's a former federal agent? He worked for HSI. His job was to cook up cases on people. Like, yeah. Yo, Myron is, you know who Myron is? Myron is Denzel from Training Day. They probably built prisons because of Myron. I'm not bragging here, but I'm not trying to make it a joke, but he's given a lot of niggas a lot of charges that probably served a lot of time. He was more focused on the border stuff with the cartels. Anyway, let's go back to Mr. Boyd here. And the info he's going to disseminate to us.
Corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas, rental car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group, surveillance footage from the offense location, a nearby office supply store, and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed following the offense. Fingerprint evidence as well that was recovered from the crime scene.
See, that's why I'm thinking someone must have reported the same day. To capture fingerprints, it has to be damn near almost immediate. That's why I think, and damn, fingerprint? Holy shit, that's like some old school shit. Fingerprint?
At least two of the defendants, social media posts by defendants displaying what appears to be stolen property just in the days following the offense. Greyhound bus records confirming the travel of multiple defendants from Dallas to Memphis.
Chat, you could tell they were aware that the crime happened. No one wanted to fly. They tried to take a bus. Do you have to, can't you just like pay for a bus without no type of identification? Hopefully they didn't charge it on their card, right?
The day after the offense. in this case came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence as alleged in the charging document. This case should serve as a warning to others who believe that using violence and intimidation tactics to rob others in our community is a viable way to conduct business. I'm here to say that it is not, and that if you choose to do this, we will, together with our law enforcement partners here and the other ones in the Northern District of Texas, will bring you swiftly to justice. I want to thank the FBI Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, the FBI's Memphis Resident Agency and Nashville Field Office, the Memphis Safe Task Force, the Dallas Police Department, the United States Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, Michael Dunovit, and AUSA Greg Wagner, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Texas, my dear friend and colleague, Jay Combs, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Tennessee, including my colleague, Braden Busek, for their outstanding contributions in this multi-jurisdictional investigation and prosecution. I'd also like to highlight the extraordinary work. None of this happens without the extraordinary work of our AUSAs in this office. And I'm here to say we have the best AUSAs in the.
By the way, thank you, Smoke Peasure. I think you mean pressure. Thank you for the attendance. Says, yo, he initiated too, bro. A menace society. The white man gonna have to poke him. He has stand, stupid ass nigga.
Entire country.
Let's talk about Pooh Shiesty.
That includes AUSA's Robert Withers, Claire Demers, and my violent crime chief, Jeremy Fugate. This case really underscores the importance of standing up for crime victims, no matter who they are or where they come from. And the incredible collaborative investigative partnerships that we have, not only in the Northern District of Texas, but across the country. And we are all working together to make our country safer.
Look, that good dynamite solution.
So thank you for being here today, and I'll answer some questions after my colleague here speaks. But now I'm going to turn it over to him, and this is Jeremy Wright, who's the Dallas FBI Assistant Special Agent in charge.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. Good morning, everybody. As Ryan said, my name is Jeremy Wright, Assistant Special Agent in charge for FBI Dallas. As United States Attorney Raybold said, we're here today to announce the arrest of several individuals in the Memphis and Nashville, Tennessee areas, as long as one here in Frisco, Texas. These arrests are the result of a violent kidnapping of 3 individuals here in the Dallas area. The majority of those arrested did travel from Memphis to Dallas to commit that offense. Our office collaborated with multiple law enforcement agencies and other FBI offices to carry out this investigation that ultimately led to these arrests. So I'd like to thank the Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, Dallas Police Department, the Memphis Safe Task Force, Memphis, Tennessee Police Department, and the Shelby County, Tennessee Sheriff's Department for helping with this investigation. Violent crime does remain a top priority for the FBI, and we dedicated significant resources from here in Dallas FBI, Nashville, Little Rock, Birmingham, and Atlanta FBI offices to investigate and successfully arrest these individuals. We remain committed to investigating violent crimes like these. No matter who you are, we will fight every day alongside our partners to make our communities safer. So, thank you.
And we have time for some questions. If you would just identify who you were with and your name would be helpful. Yes, sir.
Kevin Reese with WFAA.
Hi, Kevin.
It may be in the release that you're going to send us, but can you be more specific to who these victims are and a specific location of this studio that you were talking about?
I'll answer the last part first. Yes, it'll be in the complaint, and we're happy to get you a copy of that. It's now unsealed. It was off Dallas Parkway in Dallas, Texas, a music studio. That's what's identified in the complaint. As far as victims go, we won't get into at this time who the victims are or not.
Chase with the Dallas Morning News. Can you describe the injuries suffered by the 3 victims?
So one of the victims, and this is actually in the complaint, and we'll get you a copy as well. There's a photograph of the injury. It looks like there's some abrasions on the neck and arm.
You were still seeking one suspect, you said.
One of the individuals that's been charged has not had his initial appearance yet, but agents are actively working to locate and bring him to court.
And I wanted to touch on that actually. Eric Bushman with KRLD. Since there's one person you're still trying to get to come in, I guess it's not in the press, it's its initial appearance. You have said that you're trying to work out. Because you're going public with this, are you afraid at all that that's going to hinder it eventually getting that individual in?
agents are working to find him. The complaint has already been unsealed, and a number of these defendants have had their public hearing already, their initial appearance, and so it's already out there that this individual has been charged, and so that information is in the public record. But I trust that the agents will be able to identify this person and find them and bring them to justice. Of course, that person can turn themselves in immediately.
Two questions. This is Chase with the Dallas Morning News. So the initial incident happens in January 10th.
Mhm.
We're here in April.
Mhm.
Can you describe the timeline and the length of time, why we're talking about this now? Because it sounds like these arrests happened recently. And then the second part of that question, did all of the arrests happen yesterday, or were they happening over the span of time that we're talking about?
Yeah, good questions. I'll start with the last part. 8 of the 9 happened yesterday, and then we're still working on one more. And that was, again, a lot of those happened in Memphis. One happened in Nashville, and we're working now with our Georgia counterparts to get the last person brought to justice. Do you want to ask another question, follow up to that? Okay, and remind me of your first part, sir.
We had the initial incident on January 10th,
Yep.
here April 2nd. Can you describe and kind of characterize why, that amount of time passed before the arrests?
Well, that was one of the reasons I wanted to list off some of the evidence that has been uncovered to date. A lot of this was subpoena work, search warrant work, and things like that in order to develop the investigation. And so the agents here with me, the agents out in the field, it takes a little bit of time to identify who did this offense and build a case so that we feel comfortable bringing the charges. So actually that's pretty quickly for a federal case of this gravity and this nature. And so I'm very proud of the investigative work, and it will continue from this office as well as our FBI and our local police department.
If convicted of these charges, these arrests, how serious are these crimes? What do these people face?
They're facing a range. So there's no mandatory minimum in this case. It's a range of punishment, and it'll be in the province of the judge, whoever gets the case. But it could be from 0 all the way to life imprisonment. And as you know, a lot of what will guide what's called the sentencing guidelines will be the individual's previous criminal history, the fact that one of these individuals committed the offense while on home confinement, so actually serving a federal offense, assuming that individual is convicted, that will be an aggravating factor for sure.
That's son.
Were they aspiring artists? Are they known locally or even nationally? Can you at least tell us that?
I'm not going to get into the victim stuff at this time. I think that more will be coming out there that will help clarify, but I'm not at liberty at this stage of the investigation to disclose that.
And then can you describe the operation to conduct all of those arrests? I imagine they were in different places. Maybe they all happened around the same time. I'm not sure.
I'm going to hand that one off to my colleague here, Jeremy Wright.
Yeah, thank you for the question. It requires a lot of partnerships across multiple jurisdictions to be able to conduct simultaneous arrests in a manner, to not alert other folks and to do it safely. So really, it's just a coordinated effort. Unfortunately, we have great relationships here locally with Dallas PD and our other partners, as well as other FBI offices have the similar relationships. Memphis is unique. They have the Memphis Safe Task Force there currently, which was kind of a help in a lot of this. So it's really just coordination and pre-planning.
And a follow-up to that. So were all of the arrests in Memphis or?
No, we Memphis, we had one in Frisco, Texas yesterday morning. The rest were in Memphis. And as the U.S. Attorney said, we're actively pursuing the final arrest.
Yeah. Did you have another question, sir?
Okay, mugshots, is that going to be out somewhere?
I think that becomes public record, but I'm not sure. If I could follow up with you right after, Catherine, if you would get to make sure that we get that information over there. Thank you for coming. If there are any further questions, I just want to underscore the importance here in Northern District of Texas of vigorously prosecuting violent crime. And a couple of days ago, I did a press conference in Fort Worth, Texas, but it just highlights the collaboration. The state, local police are some of our best friends and best partners. Chief Como is a dear friend and partner of this office and has been fantastic for us, working with some of the best in the business, the FBI. And I'm just really honored to stand shoulder to shoulder with the men and women in my office. So again, we look forward to prosecuting this case vigorously. And if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to Catherine Miller. Thank you.
Okay. Chat, we are trying to get the relevant information. What the hell? What the fuck? Give me 1 second, chat. Don't worry. We are working to get the relevant information here, which is a criminal complaint. It should be, we should get it shortly. We do have a case number. Currently, this is the motion that was signed off by the judge. We get to find out the case was actually filed on March 30th, 2026. And this is a motion to unseal. We have all the co-defendant. So this is obviously Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Jr. This is his father. Rodney Wright is his big 30. We have DeMarcus Glover, Darian McDaniels, Terrence Rogers, Corday Johnson, Kadarius Walters, and Demarion Gibson. So it says the United States respectfully moves this court to unseal the criminal complaint in the above captioned case. In support thereof, as stated as follows. The criminal complaint was filed on that date, as I said, under a seal charging 9 defendants with violation of 18 U.S.C. 1201 and C, that is kidnapping and conspiracy to commit kidnapping. So at least we know what the charges are. So it's kidnapping and conspiracy to commit kidnapping. I'm wondering why there wasn't mention of the robbery. But it might be conspiracy that includes robbery.
It's no longer a time for putting off, but rather a time for making the most of today and tomorrow. Don't wait. Lock in your rate.
But 8 of the 9 defendants charged are now in custody. 1 currently in the northern district of Texas. 7 currently in Tennessee. So pretty much Pooh's in Texas because he was already there because he was in Dallas. They arrested 7 people in Tennessee. And the 9th defendant, Terrence Rogers, the government has made diligent efforts to locate and apprehend him. And it is his assessment that he's likely aware of the existence of the charges and law enforcement's interest in his apprehension. Continued sealing of this complaint thus serves no meaningful law enforcement purpose. As primary objectives underlying the original sealing order, preventing flight and preserving the element of surprise necessary to effect safe arrest, have been substantially accomplished and are no longer achievable. These are strong presumptions of the accident. Okay, great. Okay, here we go. So it says, unsealing this complaint will not materially prejudice the government's ability to apprehend the 9th defendant. To the contrary, the public disclosure may facilitate the apprehension by enabling members of the public to provide information regarding the defendant's whereabouts. And moreover, the complaint only contains allegations necessary to establish probable cause and does not disclose sensitive investigative techniques which compromise ongoing. Ooh, so they're still looking into shit. Oh wow. We need I want to get Hernandez Govan on here. He's been, been one of the guys who wanted to appear in our stream and talk about a few things. I'm going to see if I can get him on the phone. Wow. Now, if you guys don't know, there was an ongoing raid yesterday that happened at Pooh Shiesty's father's home. It was very inconspicuous, but check this out.
Breaking news, your news leader is following now. We're learning more about an FBI search party at a home associated with Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty.
Now take a look. This was the scene earlier this morning outside of a Cordova home belonging to Lontrell D. Williams, otherwise known as Pooh Shiesty's birth name. Now, the house deed didn't specify whether the homeowner is Pooh Shiesty or his father, Lontrell Williams Sr. But the FBI confirms they were at that home to execute a court-ordered search and arrest warrant. Our Drita Patterson has been at the scene of that search all morning long. Drita, what have you learned?
we've learned quite a bit. It just so happens this is a community where a family I'm very close to live. So they were able to sort of walk us through what happened. They are telling us it was well before, several hours before sunup when they first heard a boom. It was then followed by shouting of the...
Now, apparently they do this search warrant, and it looks like they're anticipating possible weapons and maybe even violence because they throw a flashbang into the house.
From the agents who were saying that they were certainly executing a search warrant. I can tell you, after that boom, there was a back door that was breached. Folks, as mentioned, the home just behind me, according to property records, is listed to Lontrell Williams. Neighbors are telling us this is Williams Sr., the father, of course, of Lontrell Williams Jr., who is better known as Pooh Shiesty. Folks, let's go ahead and show you some of that video for not already. This is how it looked earlier this morning as those federal agents were focused on several cars inside the garage. That, of course, is the extent from our vantage point that we were able to see. This home located along Beaver Valley Lane, just off of South Forest Hill, Irene, here in Cordova. This is a community sort of tucked away. Neighbors described this area as being peaceful. That is until this morning.
They could be. So they did also execute a search, the arrest warrant as well. By the way, this is a Maybach truck. I'm not too sure if this is the one that's pictured in First Day Out. I think he just got his pops a Maybach truck. But Pooh Shiesty, F.E.D.S, if you watch that video, you'll notice in this video he shows off a Maybach truck right here. Not too sure if it's the same one, but essentially, let's see if we get to right here. The Maybach truck is here. I'm not too sure if that's the one pictured, but it could be. Could be. All right. But yeah, you see the Maybach logo?
Take a listen to what a neighbor had to tell us.
They were here, before sunup.
Yeah.
No lights, no sirens, no nothing. Loud explosions, that's what woke me up. They had loudspeakers on saying, we have a warrant for your arrest, come out with your hands up and all this.
Of course, we have reached out to try to get a copy of that search warrant in order to find out exactly who police, or I should say federal agents, were after. Once we get that information, we'll certainly pass it along on air and online. It is worth mentioning there was a vehicle that pulled into the driveway while those agents were here. A young woman got out. Neighbors told me that that woman actually lives here. We tried speaking with that woman, but she did not, of course, want to speak with us. We're still working to gather more information. Of course, we'll pass it along as it becomes available.
Yeah, it was a whole scenario. There's a couple more videos. Let me see if I can find. I'm working on getting what's the name on here. Don't worry.
And we're learning more.
Okay, by the way, I don't know why this popped up or someone sent this to me. They're saying that allegedly Pooh Shiesty already told and told on himself. And he's really close friends with Ben the Don. They're saying Pooh Shiesty told Ben that they robbed Gucci Man. This is like they're claiming it was before. And he showed him the proof like on FaceTime or something while Ben was on stream. Let's see.
Don't say that.
Wait, why they overlay the music?
3 million cash, can't fit in my hand, then sit some on my head. Babe, come put that pussy on me, bitch. I'm fresh from out the fed.
Hold on. I'm trying not to get copywritten.
Put that pussy.
Crazy. Are you serious?
Now this might be cap.
The whole world been waiting on it. Took that knife
I hope you lying, nigga.
Gave it to my little homie, nigga. Ain't no more Mufasa, Mr.
Okay. You can't even hear nothing. This is probably fake. It's probably fake. Oh, anyway.
More about an FBI search party at a Cordova home associated with Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty. Now, the FBI confirms they were at the house to execute a court-ordered search and arrest warrant. WRAG's Jarita Patterson was there.
There are perfectly manicured lawns here in this Cordova community, but what happened here before sunup Wednesday was anything but picturesque.
They were here, before sunup.
Yeah.
No lights, no sirens, no nothing.
Something was certainly happening. This neighbor, who has called the area near Beaver Valley Lane home for nearly a quarter century, soon discovered the moment he heard something unexpected.
Loud explosions, that's what woke me up. Big booms. They had loudspeakers on saying, you know, we have a warrant for your arrest. Come out with your hands up.
Seeing these 3 letters, FBI in bold print, led us to reach out to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. It was confirmed these agents were executing a federal court-authorized search and arrest warrant at this house. This corner home, according to property records and an informative neighbor, belongs to Lontrell Williams, father of Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty, who shares the same name. Seeing all of this play out is a far cry from how things usually are, we were told.
Rarely see anybody, not activity in the yard.
But Wednesday morning, there was a flurry of activity.
All right, man. We got Hernandez Govan on the check-in. Now, he's the first one that mentioned this. He has a Memphis number. Call him.
I'm sorry, the person you...
Okay. His phone like mine. You call my number, you ain't getting through in the first ring now.
I'm sorry, the person...
All right, let me just text him first. That's how you know a nigga that beat a body. You call him nigga, that shit going straight to voicemail. Yeah. You call him, that shit going straight to voicemail. That nigga beat a body, man. That nigga... Watch, you gonna call me back on like FaceTime or something. Yo, he's been trying to reach out to me for a long time. Yo, chat, you want me to tell you the truth why I haven't like tapped in with Hernandez Govan? It's just like, even though he beat the case, I kind of feel like he killed Dolph, bro. Like, and I'm like, I feel like I'll be just talking to a killer. Well, I guess I've talked to mad killers before, right? What's his name? Hernandez. I'm saving it. Memphis. Okay. Oh, he said call now. All right. All right, let me do the shit. This is how you know I'm street chat. I'm gonna call, but I'm calling FaceTime audio. Oh yeah. No. Fuck. No. Wait, how do I? Fuck. You gotta call FaceTime audio, man. Other than that, they think you're recording their calls. Bruv. Oh, see, he called me. There we go. My brother.
What it do, big ass?
Hey, it's either you an oracle or how you know this shit?
Tapped in, man. You know, he from the streets, man. You know, from that environment.
So the first time I ever heard, and by the way, we're covering the whole news. You're live on here with me. We got 25,000 people watching right now.
Okay, bet.
It's a big breaking news day. The federal authorities raided Pooh Shiesty's father's house yesterday, but they've now said they have a criminal complaint that charges him, Big 30, his father, and 6 others with conspiracy of kidnapping and robbery. And it all matches back to a story that we heard, but I think a lot of people were like, man, it's got to be cap, because why would this even be a thing? But supposedly Gucci was kidnapped and forced to sign his release papers, and people were robbed in the incident by Pooh Shiesty and others. You're the first one who said this shit.
Definitely.
How the hell did you know? Like that's the question, bro.
But I know a couple of the cats that was actually charged on the indictment. I know personally.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. So I got, you know what I'm saying, I was hit up, when Cedric was making conversations and we was talking about when he was talking about the jury and shit and all that was a real thing. You know what I'm saying?
So wait, so people actually got on live or Instagram and they were showing off the jewelry?
Well, I don't know about that. I heard that. I know that's a rumor, but I'm talking about, we actually spoke with people that had access to the.
Sometimes baby steps turn out to be giant leaps.
How do you know when her diaper's wet?
Listen for the squish. When life changes lead to.
Not Pooh Shiesty, not Lontrell, by some other people from Memphis, Tennessee.
What type of jewelry was it? Do you know?
Wedding band, watch.
Really?
Yeah, his homeboy DP got his chain took. The cameraman, they stripped him, took everything. You still with that?
You know why I didn't believe it? Because I've seen a lot of people talk about it, and they said this is false because Gucci would never let a man take his wedding ring off his finger. Would never give up these items without somebody dying. And I ain't gonna lie, I kind of believe, like, I don't know if it's hype behind Gucci. I believe everything behind Gucci, but Gucci was silent. That was the only weird thing about it. So you heard about this in the streets.
Yeah.
That wasn't weird. That was smart, nigga. Get that shit up. Live to see another day.
You know, Gucci, for the people that's saying that, you know, they ain't never been up under the gun before. You know, you be up under the gun, they can talk out, you know what I'm saying? I done seen the toughest. If a motherfucker got the
Them
most
niggas
up
never
on you,
been through
you
that.
know what I'm saying? You got to come clean, or, you know, risk losing your life. And, you know, a lot of this shit, you know, that shit don't be worth your life. You know what I'm saying? Get this shit up, get your lick back. That's all you can do, you know? But he definitely, you know.
Did I hang up? I'm trying to show y'all the fucking, because we're on FaceTime. What the fuck? And I hang up. I got yo. Sneeko was trying to give me the thing where I could just, like, when I'm FaceTiming, y'all can see the person, because, like, it would be better if y'all could see him. But yeah. My bad. I accidentally hung up. I trying to flip the camera. Okay. All right. So, all right. Damn.
Yeah, I told people from day one, you know what I'm saying? He got stretched or whatever, you know, motherfucker said I was capping.
Wait, hold on, though.
Go ahead.
Because you're a very interesting figure. I think, you know, I think we almost connected a few times. I'm going to be honest with you, because I'm always honest. It's something about you, like, I kind of like it. I know that case is done, but I'm like, is this nigga like the one guy that's smart enough to be so evil that he did some crazy shit, got away with it, and he's still popping it? Like, you're something else. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. And also, respectfully, I have a lot of love for Dolph. Okay, but you're an interesting person, really interesting person.
Yeah. Nah, I appreciate your honesty, you know what I'm saying? But nah, bro, I ain't get away with nothing. You know, I'm actually innocent in this situation. Dolph, like you said, you know, Dolph was a good dude. He was a Robin Hood around here in Memphis, Tennessee, you know, so I ain't no security for no rap group. I ain't never wrote a rap song, so I ain't have no reason to do anything to young Dolph, you know. So, you know, with that being said, you know, I'm a good dude, you know what I'm saying, loyal, honorable. And sometimes I'm loyal to a default. That's how, you know what I'm saying, I end up in a lot of the bullshit I be in.
Okay, so now let me ask some connecting questions. And before I ask these questions, I'm not DJ Vlading you, but I'm going off theories. And you know, these are going to be questions that are going to be asked. The mere fact that you're the first one that brought this to light, when I'm thinking who would want this to be known, it all comes back to one person. Yo Gotti. Yo Gotti doesn't get along. Keep in mind, we're constantly seeing a Yo Gotti connection here. Okay? Yo Gotti didn't get along with Dolph. You get charged with something. Yo Gotti doesn't see eye to eye with Gucci. You're the first person that brings. And by the way, you know, we all watched his XXL interview. Pooh Shiesty, he didn't say nothing bad about Gucci, but he did big up Gotti. Is the reason why you said this publicly is to kind of let people know, man, I know Gotti got that nigga with wedding bands up, man.
Now I'm gonna tell you like this, you know, I knew Juke personally, like you know what I'm saying. Juke was a friend of mine, you know. Never got a chance to be around Yo like that, you know. Had a conversation one time over the phone a while back. With that being said, you know, Yo ain't even the type of person to move like that, you know, to go and do no goofy, you know what I'm saying, regular shit like that, to have Shiesty or 30 of them to, you know, he don't want no nigga wedding band, you know. I think he was interested in signing. He was very interested in signing Pooh.
No, that's the ultimate checkmate, though. I steal your wedding band. I get your artist. That is like, that's a stake in the.
You can't leave the wife out now. You can't leave the wife out, man.
Wait, what wife? His wife? He didn't get his wife?
Oh, what you mean? Gotti fucked her when Gucci was in jail.
Oh man, stop it, man.
Come on, man. What you the king of this?
Those are rumors, man. Those are rumors, man. Yo,
man, that ain't no rumor, man. Gotti went on Breakfast Club and told you that shit, man. Man, he was fucking the brakes off of Keisha Kaur, man.
Okay, so let me ask you this though. And by the way, I've heard you say some of these things. You're right. You're right about that. Do you feel like you made the block hot by saying it online?
No, I'm gonna tell you why. I don't feel like I made the block hot. You know, when I first brought it, only thing I said was, "Hey, Gucci, you know what I'm saying? You know, when we heard about that other little shit that just went on, you know, we're gonna run that later on." So, you know, when I said that, a lot of people that's tapped in knew what I was talking about, but I didn't get into no specifics in the first video. I ain't started going into great detail is when, you know, when other little shit started coming out with other blogs and shit like that or whatever. So my first, I think when I first introduced it to the internet, I was very respectful and very careful on how I worded it.
Do you have any problems with Gucci?
Do I have any problems with Gucci?
Or do you guys know each other? Or does he know you?
I ain't got no problems with Gucci. I just always thought, you know, a lot of the shit he did, you know, was some sucker shit, you know, by you know, it's just like, you know, you gonna go and how he went and you know, made friends with everybody that he was into it with, except Gotti. You know, you made up with everybody, and it's all about a bitch. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, that's another thing. You're the first person who said that, and when I went to do my research, I said, "Wow, that's fucking accurate." He did sign a bunch of Memphis artists, and then he dropped it.
He signed a lot of these. He was just doing it just to antagonize Gotti. Like he didn't even never put none of this shit out. He just was doing it just to try to antagonize Gotti, and that was some lame ass shit, you know. So it's just a lot of moves he did that made me kind of, you know, lose respect for him. I mean, I ain't never been a fan of his music. I always thought he was an ABC ass rapper anyway, you know. So you know, Jeezy, Jeezy, I was always a Jeezy fan because Jeezy could actually rap. Like this nigga really can't rap. So outside of that, you know, I ain't got no problems with Gucci. He just do some lame ass shit, and I just been checking him on it.
Okay, so all right, so now this is public. This is a really crazy story. From what you heard or what word is on the street, was this like some shit that was, you know what I mean? Like they knew, maybe they were talking to Gucci and Gucci just not going, and they're like, all right, we about to go do, like, if we're not leaving Dallas without we get the paperwork signed, or is it something that is just shit went left while everybody's kicking it? Because the feds is trying to claim this was like...
Hell nah, man. You know, Gucci planted that seed himself, man. You know, when he did that sucker shit to Big Scott. You know, it's like you supposed to be worth however much money you worth. You know,
wait. And for some of the people watching, could you explain what do you do to Big Scar? Because Big Scar passed away, didn't he?
Yeah. So Big Scar, you know, he's from the city. You know, he's a very talented artist from the city. Big Scar from South Memphis. Anyway, that's Shiesty cousin. He signed in 1017. He ended up passing away on he overdosed by mistake. And so when he died, instead of Gucci being concerned about paying for the funeral, his first request was to the family. He wanted the 1017 chains back. And you know, it's just crazy. You know, you supposed to be Gucci man, and you worried about these little bullshit ass chains. No disrespect to Scar, because I'm sure they were some trophies to him and his family, but to Gucci, that should have been the last thing on his mind with his artists just, you know, mistakenly OD.
Now I agree about that. That was some petty bullshit that Gucci shouldn't have did that could cause a bunch of bullshit. Like when Suge Knight was in prison and he told the streets that he wanted to take his cars back from the goons. He was mad at the goons, and all them blood Peru niggas start turning their cars except for the nigga Monkey Man. Said fuck that shit, kept the car, took Suge and the homies to war. He wound up killing a bunch of them niggas. But just shit like that, COs get mad and try to take stuff back. It could set off a chain reaction. It happened with Suge, and it seemed like that's what happened with Gucci.
So, and then, you know, they had to go through hoops to get a nigga to send some money, you know, for the funeral or whatever. They had to blast him on social media to get him to do that. So he just had a sucker attack and all that shit. You know, Pooh, Shiesty, them didn't respect it. So, you know, that's where it started at, you know, and it's like a domino effect.
So where did Gucci and
they really showed Gucci by all of them throwing their motherfucking life away. Now he get to keep the contract, keep all the money, and move on. I mean, now they family's gonna be fucked up, and they ain't coming home for a while. That's crazy. Niggas still think they taught Gucci a lesson. In what world?
Who Shiesty fall out? Because I'm watching one of the
ain't
videos.
Nobody laughing but your guy.
It's one of his earlier videos. I don't know if it was 762 God, but he has like the end of the video where he's showing off yo, I just got my 1017 chain and Gucci's on FaceTime, and it looks like he's pretty loyal, or it looked like they had a decent relationship.
Are you referring to a video that he shot since he been home, or before?
No, it's an old video. But we never seen any like signs that it went bad.
Yeah. So again, you know, when Scar died, Shiesty was locked up. So that's why we never really kind of like seen how Shiesty felt or the fallout, because Shiesty was locked up. Fast forward to him getting out. Now it's time to address what you did to my cousin.
Ooh. Okay. So look like Pooh Shiesty didn't forget about what happened with Scar. He was trying to rectify some stuff.
No, ain't no way. That's his family. That's his blood. He ain't gonna go get his family for Gucci. You know, and you know, just a lot of shit that Gucci was doing. It just kind of showed you, you know, a lot of them Atlanta niggas some suckers. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, just look at them niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? Woody Hernandez, Wood Drinker. I call him Wood Drinker. Woody a sucker. Gucci a sucker. You know what I'm saying? Thug turned out to be a sucker. I fuck a little baby though. I fuck with baby. Yeah, baby just got a whole ass nigga hanging around from Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah, nigga named Sebo. He better be glad. He my brother's brother. But anyway, that's a whole other story. But yeah, man, you know, a lot of them Atlanta niggas, them niggas some whole ass niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? But there's some real niggas in Atlanta too, though. I fuck with some real niggas in Atlanta too. Shout out to my boy Ghost. Shout out to for sure.
You know, Gucci has like this reputation in like music. That's why people are shocked. Like he has this reputation.
Me and Gucci had the same attorney. Manny Aurora, who just represented me in the dog case, that's who represented Gucci. Yeah. Gucci went outside, closed his eyes, squeezed the trigger, and luckily hit a nigga, man. He got an accidental murder charge.
Nah, I thought it was a full-on shootout.
Man, it wasn't no fucking shootout, man. He shot the man, didn't know he shot him. The man died in the woods, man. They found the man in the woods 2 days later. Gucci didn't even know he shot the man. He was shooting with his eyes closed.
Oh.
Gucci is an accidental killer. Like, he ain't know. Gucci ain't like that for real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Gucci ain't like that at all.
Well, he portrays it pretty good. You know, he says, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. He
say he's smoking on Pookie Love.
Yeah, he should have been some kid in Denzel Washington, because he'd do a good acting job. Yeah, but ain't shit gangster about him at all. Just think about it, man. You know, real gangsters act. I wouldn't have never went into the environment with Pooh Shiesty and them like that, not prepared.
So that's my question. Did Gucci must have thought it was cool? Yo, you're my man.
But see, so that goes back to my point. It makes my point even more. If you are real street, you are a gangster.
I can agree with that one point. This whole ass nigga Govan. I can agree with that point. That would never happen, Jay Prince, because the rapper, like his security would have never let. It would have only been Jay security, Pooh Shiesty, and his pops in there. It would never be all them other niggas. No. That's why niggas tell you any meeting, you listen to Irv Gotti and Supreme, even Supreme from New York, the gangster told you what a meeting with Jay Prince is like. So many motherfucking goons is there. So many hitters is in there. It would have Gucci got caught slipping, thinking that this nigga can't. You can't underestimate no motherfucking body. But Gucci being a boss and a made nigga, he should have never allowed all the niggas in no meeting, all that type of shit. The security should have been on point. He should have made the nigga come to a secure location. Hey,
if I don't got it,
but he alive and it's all good.
With your family, and I done disrespected your family, your blood family. Why are you and your family that died while you was in jail? I'm not coming to meet you unprepared.
Yeah, look like he definitely didn't. You know, he probably was thinking, well, Pooh Shiesty on papers. He's in a halfway house.
Man, Pooh Shiesty could have been on goddamn motherfucker lifetime papers. Man, when it's about some blood, man, you know, and the disrespect.
It's a lesson learned. It ain't cost him nothing but his little pride. His pride hurt. His ego hurt. You see what I'm saying? And cost the other little nigga everything because he let niggas bait him into. See, he let his daddy. He could have put his money and got out. He could have bought his way out that contract, bro. He could have hustled up and got his way out that contract, bro. The little nigga not rap tight. He just a nigga who not rap tight that can rap. But his daddy wrong, his niggas around him wrong, everybody wrong who let that little man go into that meeting and do that bullshit. Now it's all over now. Now it's just gonna be a cautionary tale. And everybody gonna be like, man, Gucci man wrong. Ready to you niggas got a multi-million-dollar business and it happened to your motherfucking ass. And you could put the hits on niggas and never see your motherfucking kids again to be locked up like little dirt.
This shit gotta, nigga gotta check the temperature, you know what I'm saying? See what they here for. And Shiesty, that's just how, that's just how they is, I used to tell people all the time, them young niggas, I don't run with Shiesty or nothing, I know 30 personally, but them little niggas will do something, they'll say something, so, and if anybody say that they wouldn't,
I know Big 30 wish that nigga Pooh Shiesty would have never came home, nigga, because he done threw his life away. I know it's a bunch of niggas like, damn, bro, I wish that nigga would have never came home. This nigga ruined it for all the niggas because they crashed them.
They lying. I don't fuck with them. They ain't no friend of mine or nothing, but I ain't gonna sit up here and lie on them niggas. So I knew what was gonna happen anyway before it happened because I know what kind of niggas they is.
Hey, did anybody from like Shiesty's side like hit you up and be like, yo, bro, you making it hot? Chill, nigga. Like,
man, a motherfucker know not to call my phone at. I ain't Woody or no motherfucker, man. Motherfucker know not to. Man, motherfucker know, man. I'ma call them everything but a child of God. They call my phone. They ask me to do any motherfucking thing, man. So I ain't in no game. Can't nobody muzzle me. I do and say what the fuck I want to say at.
Yes, so nobody could have been like, yo, bro, man, you making it hot right now, man.
Like, only motherfucker could have did. Only person could have did that was God.
Holy shit! So the part of Memphis that because I think they said is this place that they raided this Cordova? That's in Memphis or close to it?
Yeah, Cordova. It's just like the suburbs. It's still Memphis. You know what I'm saying? It's like so where I'm from, Orange Mound, which is the ghetto, basically. The hood. I can get to Cordova in about 20 minutes. It takes about 20 minutes.
What about his father? What's his father reputation? Like, is he just a businessman? Was he from the streets? Because they're kind of like lumping his father.
I'm gonna keep it. It's some crazy shit. Now I'm gonna be the first one to tell you this. And mark my word, you're gonna hear it today.
What?
You finna see a bomb explode on social media about Pooh Shiesty daddy in the next couple of hours. Mark my word. If it don't.
Project Hail Mary is the #1 movie in the universe. 2 weeks in a row.
What is Grace doing?
Having a moment. It's something truly special that audiences can stand up and cheer for. Project Hail Mary, rated PG-13.
Keep it cute. Lantrell, he always been respected in the streets. He had the mob ties, record label and shit back in the day. I ain't got nothing bad to say about him. He's a gangster. He come up from South Memphis. He come up in that environment. So, and he ain't no bitch ass nigga. He'll shake something. But with that being said, what's been happening in the next couple of hours is gonna be crazy.
My whole chat is saying call whack. There's paperwork. Is that what he gave me? Oh man, Memphis is imploding, man.
Yeah, man. She crazy, man. She real shiesty. It's shiesty season right now.
You know what? A couple years ago, I think everybody used to look at Atlanta as like, oh, it's a bunch of real street niggas down there. Now we look at like Atlanta, like, all right, these are the guys cooperating. But Memphis got like this. They got this reputation in Memphis. Memphis is Mr. Go Get 'em. Like,
yeah, man. We ain't like the YSL niggas, man. We don't. You know what I'm saying? We don't go breaking nigga cars, man, and get on the stand and get everybody indicted and then say, I don't recall. We don't get down like that in Memphis. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what's your beef with Woody? What happened? Man,
so, when I first brought the shit to the net about Gucci, he woke up the next day, instead of calling me because he had my number, he woke up, went online, and his exact words were, oh, you bitch ass niggas down there in Memphis, yeah, laughing and playing with Gucci, yeah, we're going to catch you. We're going to catch you. You know how retarded ass talk at. You can't even pronounce the words right. You know what I'm saying? Niggas sound like Crip Mac was his English teacher. You know what I'm saying? But so when he said that, I ended up checking him. And you know what I'm saying? I snatched it out the air because I knew what he was talking about. And I just, you know what I'm saying? I've been on his ass like back pockets ever since. And I just, I don't know. I'm sure Charleston, I don't know if C-Dub told you, but You know, we've been trying to set it up. You know what I'm saying? You know, why I can kick the shit out of Woody. You know what I'm saying? On that, you know, on brand risk.
Wait, you do a boxing match with Woody?
Yeah, me and Charles we've been promoting. Charles said something. I think he said something to Aiden. And yeah, we ready. I kicked the mental health meds out of Woody. I'm ready right now. Set it up. I kick the shit out of Woody. Did you see how Woody was boxing on that motherfucking YouTube in his neighborhood? If that's how Woody boxed, he better stay his dumb ass at home fucking with me.
Wait, how old are you? Woody's like 35, right?
And I'm 46, and I'm gonna kick the shit out of Woody. Set it up,
All right, no, we could set this one up. This would be a good one.
I catch him up. Listen, Mike Tyson's best friend on Boogie, he called Charleston White last week and said he had just got off the phone with Woody, and Woody said he agreed to fight whoever. So Charleston told him, he said, man, I got Hernandez Govan want to fight Woody. So we've been waiting. I catch a red eye to Miami to kick the shit out of Woody.
Hey, I could easily set that up. I'll hit Aiden after this. That's an easy setup right there. Especially, I think people would love to see, you know, you guys kind of like go get in the boxing ring after everything. People like and hate both of y'all.
Yeah, exactly. And there was a lot of people in the comments and shit, you know, they was asking for it. They was tagging Aiden. Y'all know you get a million tags a day.
Yeah.
They was tagging you, asking y'all to set it up and shit. Yeah, I'm with it. See if y'all can get his whole ass. Let's see where his heart really at. How that pussy ass nigga act. I know you got his number. When you get out the chat with me, hit him up and see if he want to shake something.
All right. Yeah. I think you'll do it. I can't see him turn it down. Especially,
I bet you he won't. I bet you can't get him to do it.
Well, here's the thing. As long as he don't like overprice himself and like he wants $1 million or something like that, I'm pretty
Man,
sure.
listen. If a nigga do that mean he's scared.
That is true.
That mean he's scared. I done kick niggas ass for free before. I'm ready for whatever bag y'all got on the table. I'm gonna kick the shit out of them about it.
Hey, chat. We have a video of Woody boxing on the screen right now.
Yeah, you see that uncoordinated ass shit? I'm gonna kick the pies out of his ass if he show up to box me like that. His ass better go to Floyd or Roger Mayweather boxing camp or something before he talking about fighting me.
I'm watching this. He looked like he got a little temper on him though.
Huh?
He looked like he got a little temper on him.
Man, I don't know what he got. I know he can't swing. I know he unorthodox like a motherfucker. He ain't got no coordination.
Holy shit. All right, what's the temperature right now in Memphis? What's the temperature?
The temperature right now is it's like 70, 72 degrees.
No, not like that. I'm saying what are people feeling? Like, it always feels like something's going on in Memphis. Like,
you talking about the temperature like with the shiesty shit or just in the streets?
Just in the streets in general. What are people thinking about this? You know, obviously,
I mean, you know, for the most part, you know, we got the homeland. You know, Trump got the streets on lock for the most part. We got the homeland security shit here, the FBI, the everybody. You know what I'm saying? They've been patrolling our streets and shit. So, you know, it ain't live like how it normally would be. You know, much shit still been.
Maybe you're like them with strains and sniffles. That's why Houston Methodist has primary care near you, with a network of specialists and same-day clinics to keep you healthy. That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it for you. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
Dolph, I mean, the whole hip hop has said it. We've never seen spinning like that before, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah. You know, and there's a lot of spinning that happened that people don't know about too. You know, so.
Were you ever nervous that because you were charged that somebody might just say, you know what? Well, if he charged, we got to go get him.
Nah, I mean, I ain't saying I'm no motherfucking Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees or nothing, but nervous. I don't even know how to spell it. Like, you know, it's like because the environment I come from, you can't be nervous. You have to be, you know, you have to. If you're nervous, you can't be alert, in my opinion. So, you know, I don't get nervous. You know, I might get some. You know, I might get on point. You know, a little. You know, get the paranoia. You know what I'm saying? You know, or whatever. But as far as nervous and afraid, I'm gonna go wherever I need to go and do what I need to do. Like, ain't nobody gonna ever keep me from doing that. But no, I wasn't never nervous. I was prepared. I've been prepared.
Did you move out of Memphis?
Did I move out of Memphis?
Yeah.
Is LeBron James a Muslim?
Nah, I don't think so. You still there?
Nah. See her, y'all. Me and Charleston was just together in Memphis the other day.
Oh, hell no. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wouldn't be caught dead with you in Memphis.
Man,
You're not like a wanted man down there?
Huh?
You're not like a wanted man?
A wanted man, but I ain't got no warrants.
Not by the police, but like.
Man, come on, man. Hey, look. Hey, it's hard to find a nigga that you know that's like that. It's hard to find a nigga that you know that's gonna leave it all on the field. Like, I ain't saying I'm the toughest, but a nigga know that when you pull up on dudes, you gotta be right. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is, man. I hope motherfuckers thinking with, you know what I'm saying, the right type of sense, because I was proven to be innocent, but I'm moving like I was found guilty.
Do you believe Gucci was moving a bit square by not coming there with a few killers?
Exactly, but all of that goes back to him having a caretaker, Keisha Kaur, his mental episodes, and
what do you mean he's having a caretaker?
When she signs off on everything, she runs his phone. When people call, she decides if he talks on the phone. You didn't see the Breakfast Club interview?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. But she said it was only during. I don't know. It was a little bit.
Man, listen, bro. Listen.
So you think Gucci is slipping now because he's letting this woman run his life? She's answering the phone. She's probably packing him lunch, sending him to me.
Man, listen. The old Gucci that everybody know would have did. I think, in my opinion, would have did everything in his power for these charges not to be brought or whatever. I think Keisha Kaur played a major role in this indictment, enforcing it. I do know the undercover officer that was Gucci's bodyguard. He was the one that went, that started this whole domino effect.
Oh, wait. Break that down. So because
Gucci, when Gucci got robbed, Gucci got a bodyguard, which is an off-duty police officer.
Okay.
And
best bodyguards to have too, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're not doing crime.
Exactly. So with that being said, when he was in there when it popped off, and he reached for his shit, but street niggas had the ups on him, and when the charges didn't come immediately, me and a few of my guys, Go Slow, Prince, and shit, and said it, we was under the impression that the security, that the officer, that the bodyguard was gonna keep it G on the strength of Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Him and Gucci probably had a bond.
Is that even possible though, right? Because if I hire
the only way it's possible, he would be breaking the law. And I didn't. And my question was, damn, is he willing to put his freedom, his life, his family's life on the line for Gucci Man to basically hold this to his chest for the reputation of Gucci Man? I didn't think so.
Okay, so you are in belief, and you just gave us some new information here. So chat, it looked like we're getting some inside information. This case, because when we watched the whole thing, we're like, damn, if they got fingerprints, they must have went the next day or the day after. Like, you can't come back 2 months and get some fingerprints. It don't work like that. So now you're giving us some info that Gucci probably went there with a bodyguard, and that bodyguard he's basically police, right? So
yeah, it wasn't no probably to it. This is all fact.
Okay, so he's an off-duty police officer. However, even if he's off-duty and a crime like that happens, you're risking your whole livelihood by not reporting it, by not doing what you are sworn to do, and it's a judge of your character. Even though you're off the clock, you're still a policeman.
Yeah, and he could have went to jail for that.
Oh, okay. Because if he was about to brandish too.
Yeah. He could have, like, the police officer could have went to jail too. Not because he upped his gun, but if he wouldn't have, police officers, they have a sworn duty to, report, protect, serve.
You're not just moving, you're moving in the right direction.
How am I going to play soccer in Connecticut?
When life changes lead to tax changes, don't navigate it.
At minimum, he would have got failure to report a felony, and all that old goofy ass charges and shit they be having. So yeah, he wasn't willing to risk that for Gucci Man.
Okay, So I'm asking this line of questioning to get to like the most important part, which I think hip hop is already starting to dissect. Does anyone believe that Gucci Mane is cooperating? Did he make a statement? Will he take the stand? Is Gucci quote unquote snitching? Or is it just, you know, yeah, people found out about it because of this off-duty cop or undercover cop, whatever, and Gucci's listed as a victim, but he don't got nothing to do with nothing.
Man, I'm gonna give Gucci the benefit of the doubt, man, and say that he ain't cooperating. My partner Ghost Los think that he might be. I'm gonna say that he's probably not. I don't think Gucci would risk his reputation and his respect in the street to go and testify and cooperate on some shit that's already happened. And with that being said, I think with them having that police officer there and guns being drawn on him, they don't even need Gucci.
That's a fact. Listen, that's a fact.
You know,
I keep telling y'all the best security guards to get is the police. Like, you know, you don't got to make the report. He's gonna do it for you.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So Gucci could be a slime ball and in the background telling the police officer, man, go ahead and report that, man. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You know, fuck them niggas. I can't do it, but you know, you're an officer of the law. Go ahead and do it. So he could be doing that. But as far as him putting his John Hancock on it and saying, nah, I don't think Gucci did that.
Interesting. Okay. So I don't know if you heard the whole sequence of how it went down. I was surprised, and you tell me if you're surprised. You probably know him a little bit better. And maybe this is just some Memphis nigga shit. I would think that you're on ankle monitor and you're in a halfway house. The feds are claiming that he uphold first. Do you believe that? That Pooh Shiesty uphold first?
Man, what Shiesty said in that new song, when he said about dirt,
He said we had 300 shots up in this car before.
Nah, don't let dirt verse go to your head. Ain't nobody slime as me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that kind of answer your question. Ain't no, he mean it, I guess. You know, ain't nobody slime as him. So you know,
is that a Memphis thing or this guy's just one of those type of dudes? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, he seemed like
I ain't gonna lie. That ain't no Memphis shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's some Pooh Shiesty shit. You know, because I mean, me in that situation, I wouldn't have done that on house arrest in the halfway house.
Okay, you being reasonable. There we go.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. You know, I would have waited. I ain't gonna say it wouldn't have happened, but it wouldn't have happened at that moment.
You know the people, or you say you know some of the people that was with him. Do you think that maybe those dudes who might be in the streets are looking at him like, yo, prison better not change you, nigga? Like, yo, you know how we supposed to give it up? You feel like he was maybe like not necessarily peer pressured, but he had to kind of move how you.
No. Shiesty ain't got no peer pressure. You know, that was his shit over there. You know, he called the shots over there, so it wasn't no peer pressure. If anybody was peer pressured, you know, for what I'm hearing, it was the daddy, Lantrell. You know, when the situation happened, Gucci allegedly looked up at the daddy, and the daddy was like, you know, showed some type of sympathy and empathy for Gucci, but it was out of his control.
Really? So the daddy, like, basically Gucci appeals to him like, yo, bro, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And the daddy kind of feels bad because the daddy probably was actually wanting to do business.
I'm finna give you a little extra. I'm finna give you a little extra bonus right here because a lot of this shit I'm saving. I got a real big interview coming up, but you know I fuck with you though.
Yeah, come on.
Before Gucci, before the shit was over with, Gucci said he looked up and said after he signed the papers and they made him sign the papers, he said, damn. Y'all know this ain't how this shit go. We still gotta go to the lawyers. And motherfucker told him, man, you gotta shut your bitch ass up before a nigga shoot you on GP.
Oh shit! Oh no! Yo.
Yeah.
So Gucci tells him, yo, because that's actually true. So with release papers, because I was even thinking like, if I'm Gucci, I just put a unrecognizable signature. That's something I could shoot down later to say that doesn't match the rest of my signatures, right?
But you know, if you signing something, if somebody is forcing you to sign something under duress, it's not gonna hold up in the court of law anyway.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I think they was looking at it like Gucci would be a bitch to come out and say, yo, don't let him out the contract because he had a gun to me. So it was just gonna go to like
they was gonna go on, they was gonna go off of that, you know what I'm saying? You know, so I get it, you know, but and again, when people were saying Gotti had something to do with it, like they can't know because
is that a direct quote though?
What?
So you're saying they're pointing a gun at him, he's signing these papers, and he said this is not how it goes, and the nigga says, man, you better shut your bitch ass up before we shoot you.
For a nigga shoot you on GP, that was said.
They were bluffing though, right? They wasn't gonna shoot no Gucci.
Hey, listen, a motherfucker, this how bad they disrespected him, man. Man, they went in his ear and took his earrings out, unscrewed him.
No, what?
Man, treated him like a real hoe, unscrewed him.
They unscrewed the earrings.
Unscrewed the earrings, nigga. If I tell you a duck, you pull a truck, hook that motherfucker up.
So they took earrings, they took the wedding band off. Did Gucci take the wedding band off himself?
Yeah,
or did they rip it off his face? I'm wondering how physical they got with Gucci.
Hey, Gucci follow instructions real well under pressure.
I mean, shit, I would too. I'm not, I mean, I would too.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Sure.
So they're yo, give me this, give me that.
Yeah.
This is after he signed or before he signed? And why the added disrespect? If you wanted the signing papers, why take things from them?
Yeah, so the signing was the first. He signed first, and then he was relieved out of the items.
Damn, they confiscated it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And the other dudes, so where did
he had a homeboy with him too? He had a homeboy with him named DP. He got stripped too. The cameraman got stripped and choked. Cameraman got choked.
Why did he get choked? He was like uncooperative?
I don't know. I guess motherfuckers was just trying to show their bravado, showing their main business.
What do you mean stripped? You like stripped of their possessions? Like, oh, give me a chain?
Yeah. Nigga took cameras.
Okay.
Nigga took all kind of shit.
Damn, not the Canon. Jesus. Not the Canon.
Yeah, cameras. They took the cameras from the cameraman.
Oh man, not that.
Yeah, Gucci brought a cameraman with him too, because he thought he was gonna snap up with his artists and shit.
Oh, so Gucci thought he was vlogging.
Yeah. Gucci brought a cameraman with him as well.
Man, yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. You're right about that line. Yo, Shiesty got a. Yo, he tell you exactly who he is. Part of the song, he said, my grandmama told me to cut the grass. Whole time I'm the same. I said, yo, what? Nah, there was something about that song. I'm like, sometimes you hear a song, you'd be like, this can't be all make believe.
Yeah. That's one of them joints right there.
Oh man, no, this is crazy.
Yeah, for sure, man. That shit wild.
So in the 2 months afterwards, what do you think Gucci's thinking? Is he not like, yo, all right, one of them pussy niggas gotta die, or is he like, yo, the undercover cop or the bodyguard cop was there, so I can't do nothing because if anything happens to these niggas, it's gonna look bad on me? Because I gotta imagine Gucci probably go back to his war shed and probably say, man, all right, yo, shit, on some Dirk shit, I got 20 on him, 30 on him, 50 on him. Like, yo, these things gotta go.
But I think man, with his wife, she runs shit. She wear the pants over there. Between that and him taking all that medicine and shit, I don't think Gucci on nothing. You know what I'm saying? I think this a whole totally different guap,
So you think Gucci like washed up in terms of that mentality?
Yeah, I honestly do. I think he done became so successful in life. He loved his family, he loved his kids, he loved his wife, and I just think he look at shit like he got too much to lose, and I ain't saying that's the wrong way to think, just other motherfuckers just retarded and die by their respect, and I'm one of them, and so I couldn't be in that. I couldn't be in that situation and be like, I'm finna go to Sunday school. No, I couldn't.
Hey, by the way, you know why I thought this song was capping? No, not the song. You know why I thought the story was capping first? Because it reinforces the song too much. When Shiesty said it, he says, yo, He said, 30, pass me that Drake. Then he says, unfortunately, I'm the CEO and the top shooter for my game. Yo, he said my grandma told me keep the grass low. Whole time I'm the snake. He said I smelled this plot up from 3 miles away. You can't outsnake a snake. Yo, I'm sorry.
You can't out fox a fox. You can't out snake a snake.
Nah. I ain't gonna lie.
He mean that shit.
Jesus Christ. So so you think Gucci just been probably just like falling back, probably thinking or knowing that this is gonna happen?
Yeah, Gucci knew. Gucci probably knew. You know what I'm saying? The body, I'm sure see that bodyguard he had. They've been rocking for a minute. You know what I'm saying? From what my people told me, and I know the bodyguard had to tell Gucci, man. You know I got to do my job, Gucci. You know what I'm saying? And and Gucci was probably like, I'm sure Gucci probably wasn't against it. I'm sure. He want Pooh Shiesty to suffer some kind of way. I wouldn't have wanted Pooh Shiesty in jail. I would have wanted him out. But different people handle things differently.
Well, here's the thing. At the end of the day, he's still signed to Gucci.
Yeah.
And even though I think they're trying to go around it, like based on what we heard, and now it's a federal complaint, it's no way any judge would actually grant a injunction to stop Gucci's contract or any type of relief to let Pooh Shiesty walk. So he's gonna be with 1017. Oh shit, my bad. I think maybe shit. Oh shit. I just seen some crazy shit. Damn. Oh man. This is crazy. Yo, chat, why didn't y'all tell me? Let me see. I think his phone died, but why didn't y'all tell me Shiesty was like this? Yo, Shiesty, Dirk, and King Von, bro. It's like Hall of Fame, nigga. Them niggas is like Hall of Fame steppers, bro. I ain't gonna let anything them niggas say. Yo, if them niggas say they went to Mars, I believe it, bro. I don't think them niggas lied in one rap. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Shiesty, I look at rappers mostly as liars, but Shiesty, Dirk, and Von, whatever they said, they did that shit, man. And now I want him to get convicted. You know what I mean? This is the hypocrisy of fans, right? But them niggas did that shit, man. Holy shit. Chat, do y'all believe that? He said, I don't know if Gucci's at a table. I want to figure out the details. I want to mentally recreate the scene. They're in a studio. Is Gucci just sitting down? Is he at a table? They pull a gun on him. Yo.
Yeah, my bad. I'm on this goddamn highway. My bad.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. Jesus Christ. Nah, this is pretty interesting. So they said it was 3 victims. It looked like you've kind of outlined. No. Well, it looked like it's 3 victims plus the undercover cop. So it looked like it was Gucci, the cop, the cameraman, and the other guy. You say his name is D something?
Yeah, DP.
DP. Okay. And then Shiesty comes with 8 other people.
Correct.
So you don't think the father knew about this while they were on the way there?
No. He knew. Yeah. Come on, his dad a gangster. His dad like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he knew. I'm sure he knew something. Well, you know what I'm saying? They had some type of conversation. If not, he wouldn't have been there.
Whose idea do you think it was? Right after it happens, looked like they must have panicked because maybe money was slowing up, but there's a couple niggas that took Greyhound.
Whose idea was to strip Gucci?
No. Whose idea was it to? Because they said 2 or 3 of the individuals went back from Dallas to Memphis on a Greyhound.
Okay. So you said whose idea was it for them to get back on the Greyhound?
Well, I would think that's not a very popular means of travel for if y'all associated with a big rapper. I think you only do that to try to conceal where you're going.
Yeah, you're trying to conceal travel.
Yeah.
That you was even there.
Yes, exactly.
But a lot of them cats in those situations, they don't really be thinking, because I'm sure they had cell phones with them.
Yeah. They do.
Yeah, so they can go back, they can ping the cell phones, so getting on the Greyhound, you ain't do nothing but waste your time. You know what I'm saying? You know, because that ain't gonna keep you off that motherfucking phone tower and pinging.
Do you think that Pooh Shiesty is cooked?
Yeah, he done. He got a Chinese name, Wang Dong.
Stop. Hey, well, hold on though, because you once got a murder charge, right? And people would think that you were
I
in
didn't have a police officer that's sworn to protect and testify against me either.
So you think that's gonna be the guy to testify?
Who you think? Listen, what I'm going to tell you is the true factual. The police officer is the one that started this whole investigation. He's the one that made the first initial statement. And with that being said, he is going to be the star witness. And there's no jury in America that's going to believe Pooh Shiesty and his attorney over an officer of the law.
I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you. If it comes down to that, I mean, that's a tough sell, right?
And I ain't wishing nothing bad on the kid, you know, because I ain't got nothing against him, but I'm just keeping it G, you know what I'm saying? You know, ain't nobody going police officer. And the police officer is different. It'll be different if a police officer was getting on the stand testifying to something that another witness told him. This police officer is going to be testifying to him getting robbed as well.
Ah, interesting.
You know, not only was he a witness, he's a victim as well.
Hey, why did police officers just tell them, like, yo, you know I'm a cop, right?
Man, them little niggas they don't give a damn. They don't care.
Really?
You can see that from, you know what I'm saying, from what done transpired today. They don't give a damn. They could have had the Secret Service in that motherfucker.
You know,
they could have had the Secret Service in that motherfucker.
Nah, this is gonna be crazy right here. I don't think this goes to trial, honestly.
Man, you know, I'm gonna say this. The only reason why it might go to trial is because the number that they're gonna be offering Shiesty is gonna be so crazy.
Well, how much did he just do? He just did like 4 or 5.
He just did like a nickel. But the thing about it is, you on federal probation, your points are finna be so high, then you finna have, they done charged him. Did you hear all the charges that they charged him with today?
Yeah, well, it was kidnapping, conspiracy of kidnapping. I'm guessing robbery and
yeah, right. The bringing guns across state lines.
Weapons and stuff like that. Yeah,
all of that shit, man. They said they had a cohort robbery, and man, this shit, man, they probably offer him on a deal. Will you take 20? They might go down to 20.
Really?
Might. That'll be a deal. If he get a 20-year sentence on this case, that'll be a steal.
You think so? I'm thinking a 10-piece. He just did 5.
Hell
give him
no.
a 10.
Hey, listen. He on 5 years of probation alone. You got to do the probation time first, Act. That's 5 years alone. We ain't start talking about the guns with the switches and the kidnapping and the conspiracy. Man, they said 30 locked the door and stood on the door, held his back up, and wouldn't allow the people to leave.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Whatever song they was gonna make about this shit, I guarantee is a hit.
Yeah.
Yo, 30 locked the door, hand me my drink.
Man, yeah, man, you know, and everybody, you know what I'm saying? I think everybody except 30. But Shiesty got a fucked up record. His daddy got a fucked up record.
It's 30. You know? One thing about Shiesty, I want to give him credit. He held down that jail stint like a G, like he was built for it, and he was good with it. Do you think 30's like that too? If they give him 5-10 years, he gonna be as solid as Shiesty, or Shiesty does a different breed?
Yeah, he would never tell on Shiesty. He would never tell on Shiesty. Yeah, he'll go to the grave before he do that. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I done seen a lot of niggas tell that I didn't expect to tell, but I just couldn't see a situation of 30 telling on Shiesty. Now, I ain't gonna say what he won't do to another motherfucker, but I just couldn't see him telling on his cousin Shiesty.
Man, this is one thing, you know, I haven't read the whole complaint yet. I'm still waiting for them to fully unseal it. I'm wondering how many people they're going to claim had guns. And I actually believe you with this. These sequences so clear. You know when a nigga tell you a story of something happened and you kind of got to like go back and try to figure out what's the real sequence. This seems so orderly. It feels like a cop gave the report. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It don't feel like a cop did get a report. A cop did get it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that, he streamed. So chat, he streamed on Twitch 3 days ago. And I'm wondering, do you think he knew any of this was coming?
Yeah. Well, I can't. No, I can't say that because the way the feds they said it, well, the way they said they played it, they didn't pick it.
Taxes was so taxing.
Now taxes is so free. Payroll tax, free addition only, roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. Now this is taxes, file for free and get the most money back. Guaranteed.
Yeah, no, that's insane, man. That's insane. Okay, so let me see what else. Did they sell the items?
Now I'm gonna tell you something. What I was told today, and they've been confirmed. I haven't confirmed it yet, but I was told that some of the items were found during the search.
Really? So
yeah.
It's no way. It's no way they would have a chain, a wedding band, none of that.
I hope that's not true. But I was told that some of the items were found.
Hey, by the way, shout out to my man Jay Weathers. He said, "Yo, Shiesty's a felon with a gun. That's 10 years by itself. He'll also get a gang enhancement." Are there gang enhancements in the Fed chat? For being a gang member, the points are going to be too high.
Hey man, that's what I was telling you. Like the points, like the base offense level gonna be so fucking high. Like it's gonna be hard for him to take that case. I mean, for him to take whatever number they give him, because the number gonna be so high. They might offer him a 30. They might say, "Go."
Greatest snitch in hip hop since 6ix9ine. Gucci Mane is officially the greatest snitch in hip hop since 6ix9ine. Gucci Mane just made sure that Pooh Shiesty isn't coming home anytime soon. The next time we see Pooh Shiesty will be 50 years old. In our last video, we revealed how Pooh Shiesty, his girlfriend, his daddy, they're all sitting in jail right now on Fed charges. And today, the feds finally came out, gave their press conference and broke down why they arrested Pooh Shiesty, his daddy, his girlfriend, among other people, including they got, an arrest warrant for Big 30 right now. And they broke down, it all stemmed from this Gucci Mane incident. See, we reported 4 months ago that Pooh Shiesty held Gucci Mane at gunpoint, made him sign a contract to take Pooh Shiesty from out of his deal. The feds update is even worse than I thought. First off, Pooh Shiesty is the dumbest human being on earth. You don't get much stupider than Pooh Shiesty. 2, Gucci Mane is one of the biggest rats in hip-hop history. One of the most surprising rats in hip-hop history. Gucci Mane is the last rapper that if you told me was a rat, I would tell you no way. Gucci Mane is officially a rat after today.
I'm Ryan Rabel. I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. Thank you for coming. This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover.
The indictment says Pooh Shiesty told Gucci Mane, we can do this the hard way or the easy way. They got Pooh Shiesty and his daddy at like a Staples printing out the contract they made up themselves. So they brought the contract to the studio. Pooh Shiesty told Gucci Mane, hey, can I holler at you in the private room? Gucci said, yeah, they go to the private room. Pooh Shiesty said, hey, listen, could you sign me out of this deal? Sign this contract and release me, please. Gucci Mane said, hell no, I ain't signing you out of deal. Bro, bro, you just came home, you hot as grease. Bro, I'm not signing you out this deal, bro. Yo, you my artist. Pooh Shiesty got irritated. Then Pooh Shiesty told somebody to go ahead and grab his bag. The person then brought the bag to Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty pulled out an AR pistol, they said, and pointed it at Gucci and told Gucci to sign it. Gucci obviously said, all right, cool, I'll sign it. Now, while Pooh Shiesty got a pistol to Gucci Mane, making him sign it, Pooh Shiesty, grimy Memphis dudes, is in the other room robbing Gucci Mane security, robbing like white dudes who came with Gucci Mane. These is business people. These is people who came with Gucci. White boys. They robbing the white boys for their Rolex bags with multiple watches in it, for their wallets, for everything. I'm like, hold on. If the purpose was to have them to sign you out of the deal, why are you robbing the people with Gucci? That makes no sense whatsoever. But the robbery continued, even though Gucci Mane was signing the contract to get Pooh Shiesty from out of it. Now, apparently, like, Pooh Shiesty had to ask his daddy, which is why the daddy is currently, in jail. Pooh Shiesty had to ask his daddy, hey, Pops, is this good enough? The Pops said, nah, Pooh, tell him to, like, sign a date.
As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness. Defendant Wright barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping. The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged, for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And as described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims.
First off, man, Pooh, you going to jail, bro. Yeah, I don't know how much to explain this. You ain't coming home. See you at 50 if you're lucky.
Hey, Mike, what is that?
It's Iron Beam, your go-to place for futures trading.
I'm thinking at this point it's 60 plus, bro, because they got y'all in 4K. So Pooh Shiesty recruited one dust mice, one of the dustiest of the dust mice, called Damn Fool 375. So this dude he robbed the dudes who was with Gucci Mane, and they also robbed Gucci Mane as well, okay? So we see it right here. So on surveillance footage from the offense location, the individual believed to be Rogers can be seen exiting the building carrying what appears to be the Louis Vuitton bag MM reported stolen. Now, Rogers also posted a video on his Instagram showing him wearing a Rolex GMT Master Batman Rolex with an oyster steel that appears visually similar to the watch stolen from MM. So this dude is flexing with stolen watches and stolen jewelry because he never had nothing, man. This dude draws still stink, right? This dude look dusty, right? He never had nothing. He never had no Rolex. And it's a shame as well because you doing drills for Pooh Shiesty, who's a multimillionaire, and you ain't never had a Rolex. So he's flexing, and the police is seeing this like, oh my God, just thank God. Thank God. And what makes things worse is the person who they robbed had air tags on the product. So they stole these things and they're bringing these things to their homes, and the air tags is tracking them the entire time. They're being tracked with the air tags. So the air tags got their location. Then the police go to your Instagram and see you posted up with the same things you, all right, but forget about it, bro. All right, bro, cool, man. Yo, Pooh Shiesty, you cook, bro. And after all this abundance of evidence, we didn't find out that everybody who got robbed, including Gucci Mane, is cooperating.
The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendant's roles in the federal offense. This is as follows: electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas. Rental car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group. Surveillance footage from the offense location, a nearby office supply store, and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed following the offense. Fingerprint evidence as well that was recovered from the crime scene, matching at least two of the defendants. Social media posts by defendants displaying what appears to be stolen property just in the days following the offense. Greyhound bus records confirming the travel of multiple defendants from Dallas to Memphis the day after the offense. In this case, came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence as alleged in the charging document.
Gucci Mane's real name is Roderick Davis, and he is identified as RD in the paperwork. I want to say Gucci Mane is the biggest rat since 6ix9ine, but I'm happy about this, sir. Tell them all these niggas, man. Right? Man, yo, listen, man, y'all out here robbing them good white folks, acting like y'all can be held accountable. Man, Gucci Mane, I'm proud of you, man, for not keeping it street. Bro, they rob your employees. So Gucci Mane, RD, personally knew Pooh Shiesty Williams Jr. by both his legal name and the name under which he performs. So he identified Pooh Shiesty by his legal name and the name under in which he performs. All right? So they verified Pooh Shiesty's Instagram account, et cetera, et cetera. Now, this says RD, Gucci Mane, described Pooh Shiesty as wearing a black Nike brand Shiesty mask, black hooded shirt, and black pants during the offense. An online search of Pooh Shiesty matched the individuals that and depicted throughout Pooh Shiesty's Instagram. The victims also identified Pooh Shiesty's daddy Instagram as Mob Ties Global. Now, Big 30. Gucci Mane and the other people that got robbed identified Big 30, a well-known hip-hop artist also known as Big 30, as present during the offense. Gucci Mane identified his Instagram account as Big 30, which is verified by Instagram. The account contains photographs of Big 30 and Pooh Shiesty and Waters and others. We like to laugh and joke, but let's be serious right here. Gucci Mane had to tell, not for the obvious reasons. Gucci Mane has Pooh Shiesty signed to him. Gucci Mane knows that Pooh Shiesty is demanding a heavy bag. Gucci Mane can take Pooh Shiesty right now and sell Pooh Shiesty to a larger label and receive a $15-20 million bag. If Pooh Shiesty made Gucci Mane under duress sign release papers to get Pooh Shiesty from out of his deal, when Gucci Mane goes to court to say, hey, I signed this under duress, Gucci Mane would have had to tell anyways. Y'all didn't think Gucci Mane was going to take a $15 or $20 million L to keep it street and real, right? Like y'all didn't think that Gucci Mane was going to allow Pooh Shiesty to finesse himself out the contract, go ahead and sign a $20 million deal and keep him out of it, right? Y'all didn't think Gucci Mane was that stupid, right? That he was going to lose $20 million for trying to be street, right? For trying to win over y'all validation. Man, cut it out, man. Gucci Mane said, hold on. My two options here is I either tell them folks I signed that contract under duress and tell, or lose out on $20 million, I'm telling, as he should. Because Gucci Mane only had one option. Because if he planned on contesting signing the release paper, he would still have to explain, bro, this is your signature. They have you on camera signing this. You is on camera signing this release paper. Because in the indictment, they said that Pooh Shiesty and his daddy pulled out a cell phone and they recorded Gucci Mane signing it so Gucci Mane can't deny signing it. So if they have you on camera signing this release paper, they got your signature on the paper, they can take this to any label and say, hey, yo, we're out of the contract. I want a new deal. Gucci Mane would have had to say in court of law, these folks made me sign this under duress. Well, how did they make you sign it under duress? They made me sign it under duress by telling me if I don't sign it, they will kill me. They had a pistol to me. If you was going to say this in civil court, then you could have just said this in criminal court, in which he did. Gucci Mane did what he had to do to make sure that Pooh Shiesty and them folks got locked up. So he now has the proof and the evidence that they made him sign this under duress. So now Pooh Shiesty is still signing Gucci Mane, and Gucci Mane still got Pooh Shiesty rights. Y'all let me know in the comment section, man, what do you guys think about this? And if you're...
Go, Faith. Follow me.